See if we are live or not. I never know. It takes a second to update, so I think we are live. Okay. All right, as always, for those that are just tuning in, these are just live streams where I collect the data live for data transparency. So if you ever wonder what do the tests look like, all that kind of stuff, it's all captured here live. We'll be doing that time. You'll notice that there is a new person in the room. Oh, it's actually me. But I got a second camera set up. Why do I need a second camera set up? You'll see why. So I got this one little webcam action because I got a port account here. Unfortunately, I'm working on it. Some of this will be an experiment today. The port account is cool, but the software that it uses is based around Windows XP. I did figure out how to make the serial port work, so I did eventually get a serial port dongle set into there. But so I can communicate with it, but I can't get their normal port account software work. So I just had it just in case we need to read the display off of here. So that's just there for that. But I figured it'd be nice for people to have a second view. So when I'm donning masks, you can kind of see the profile shape to me as well. So now I got some things in the way there. Oh, sorry. It's kind of a janky setup. I didn't have a ton of time to figure it out. You can see the counter here. So it is what it is. Let's see. I'm going to adjust my white balance because I am totally blasted out on my display here. So let me fix that quickly. Let's see. Video capture device. Configure video. Let's turn the brightness. Let's turn the brightness down a little bit here. Oh, brightness is fine. What do we got to turn on? Gamma maybe? Okay, that's good. Camera controls. No, nothing I can adjust there. White balance is good. Just adjusting the I should help a little bit too. I am blown out here though. Still am blown out. That looks better. Okay, so that should fix that problem. Okay, now I should be a little bit more visible there. Alrighty. Hope everyone's good. Oh, lots of people checking in. Hey, Dennis, what's happening? And Tommy, and Global Adventure. DFC says AC for CDC director. Nah, I don't think I want that job. I don't want that job. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of masks today. Got a ton of N95s. Probably what's interesting out of the box. The first one is the Shima97. Now, people have been asking me all over the place about this silly mask, what I think to be a silly mask. It's a patent-applied nanofabric material. They make no claims about the filtration efficiency. If you go, I bought it from, what's the name of the company that I bought it from? I can't remember the name of it. Like, it's some football-based company. I know it makes no sense. They claim it filters down to 1 micron. So we'll see how it is. People claim it's really breathable. I tested it. Not really that breathable, actually. Let's see. We got Acumed KN95. Oh. Well, that's an alarm. Sorry for that video disruption. And I just dropped my box of masks. So that's cool. Let me pick my box back up. Let's see. Some of the cooler masks from that group. I got them here. Sorry, I'm on a camera, but you'll be able to see me again there in a second. The AOK Tooling. They make these soft silicone mold versions like this. Actually, maybe I can come over here. Look at that. Look at that. The beauty of 2 cameras. So there's like this soft silicone material inside of the mask. Helps seal it. And they have a cup style too. A very cool person sent these to me. A good comedian. And a funny guy all around. And also a big proponent for masks. So thanks for sending those to me, Judah. Director of USAC. No, I do not want to also be director. All of those are bad positions. USAC never makes anyone happy. You can if you run USAC is the United States USA Cycling. It's the organization it's the governing body for cycling in the U.S. and it's a tough job for those people. Okay, I forgot one mask. I got to run and grab that real quick, and then we'll get started. So today's gonna be a really long one. So we're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff today. So today we're gonna do standard mask testing. And then I may continue or may take a break, depending on how long this goes for, do some comparisons with the port account. So we'll do both the N100, N99, N100 mode, which is basically what I'm doing now. So I use a 3025 AC PC. But you could also, but basically what the port account is just a CPC on itself. It's literally what's inside of it is a little tiny alcohol, isopropyl alcohol CPC. So we'll be testing that to do that. And then, so we'll do that comparison. We'll do N100 N99. Then we'll do an N95 companion, which has the additional of what's called a radial DMA or differential mobility analyzer. Basically what this whole system does for the port account N95 mode is it takes a particle that's really very easily filtered by N95s. So if let's say in my test we get 98%. For this particular particle that it selects out of the air, it's going to be like 99+%. I'm also going to adjust my leg here because it's like flickering. I think it's on its last leg. I should turn that back on because otherwise it's not bright enough in here. Sorry, it's driving me nuts. So we'll do that. So yeah, we'll do the N95 mode. And then we'll do some experiments too, because I'm actually going to take this one step further. One of the things I'm a big proponent for, if you know, is like doing testing right. So, oh my goodness, like what is going on with you today? I might have to buy some more of those lights. We'll see if that works. One of the things that's not really captured, in my test, everything kind of balances out. So as it turns out, the right combination of events of particle size, of breathing rate, really works out well to like balance out all of the factors. So the data that I have does seem to show that it's pretty comparable to actually an NIOSH N95 test. Now, it is purely happenstance. It's luck on my part. But the values are pretty close. But one of the factors that goes into that, so we talked about it, so it's breathing rate and particle size. So in my test condition, I'm going to breathe in pretty slowly. It's probably going to be around maybe 16 liter per minute peak inhalation flow. So it's kind of like a sine wave. I'm going to breathe in, breathe out, and that rate of change, or that volumetric flow rate, is going to be quite small relative to a NIOSH, which would be at 84 or 85 liters per minute, excuse me. But one of the things that's really interesting is that when I breathe in, is that your lungs act as filters. So for anyone who's a smoker or maybe of any type of material, your lungs act as filters. They absorb the material. That's how it works, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't get that nicotine buzz or the high if you were to smoke some marijuana, because your lungs filter. In fact, they filter really well, and so well that when we do this mass testing, remember I do a mass test where I measure the concentration outside the mask, so over here. So this is not really, this is kind of blown out here a little bit, but so we're going to measure the concentration here. And then I'm going to measure the concentration inside the mask. Well, the way particles get into the mask is when I breathe in, they go in through the filter and start to occupy here. But then they go into my lungs and then come back out of my lungs, and my lungs will filter. So if you watch that CPC, I'm just going to blow on this tube, just room air. So right now we're at, what are we at? Concentration. I can't read that, sorry, it's too small on my screen. 3,000 particles per cc right now, which is a good background concentration. I'm going to breathe onto it for a second. Notice that concentration plummeted. That's because I breathed the particles in, my lungs filter them. And this is why you get COVID, right? These small respiratory aerosols, your lungs filter at really high rates, especially for small particles, especially for ones like that are in the air right here right now. And when I breathe back out, notice that there's nothing coming out of my breath, meaning my lungs filter. So what happens is if you use my test as to say, oh, Aaron got 98% protection. Now, the value of my test is 98%, that's correct. But it's not actually 98% protection, because the equation that would define the actual filtration efficiency would be the particles coming into the mask, but then you need to account for the fact that my lungs also acted like a filter. So today we're also going to characterize the lung filtration efficiency of me, subject one, for the test also I use, and then we can actually come up with and adjust my numbers. What this is going to do is, for most masks, it makes a very small impact. So let's say I had a mask that's 99% filtration efficiency in my test. That means 1% of particles went from the concentration inside the mask, and then we'll assume my breathing rate's half, right? So I breathe in, I'm going to have to breathe in the same stuff I breathe out, right? If I was constantly breathing in more air than what was coming out, I would puff up like a balloon. So that's not happening. So my inhalation rate equals my exhalation rate. And we're going to assume, let's say, that I filter 50% of the particles. What this means is that we actually have to adjust that concentration of protection to account for the fact that my lungs filter too. So 99% filtration efficiency, assuming 50-50 split, that means it would actually be 98.5 total actual protection, because my lungs filtered 0.5%. Not so much for the high-end filters, but when we talk about a mask that filtered at 50%, Now what happens is, let's say I got a 50% data point and said, oh, that filter's at 50% protection. Actually, that mask is filtering at 25% filtration efficiency. My lungs did the other half. So it's actually 1 minus filtration efficiency. So in case of 99% filtration efficiency, 1 minus that would be 1%. And we're saying that half of that actually came from my lungs, so we have to basically add 0.5 times that. So it would be that plus 1%, so 1.5%, which would 1 minus that, 98.5. So that's kind of how we're jumping around. I'll show the math up on the screen, but basically that's what we're trying to do, is answer my lung filtration efficiency. Because I think if we're going to do total inward leakage measurements as an assessment of how much protection you get, you should factor in your lung filtration efficiency as part of that. And I'll add, and it's easy to do. Once I characterize my lung filtration efficiency, we can apply it to all old existing data, since I've used the same test aerosol, and I'm the same individual, and my lungs probably have remained about the same. I don't know if lung filtration efficiency is going to vary a lot from individual to individual. I doubt it. This isn't something new. If you look at the journals, they do mention this, but I haven't seen anyone actually characterize this. And so we'll do that. So today will be a long one. It will be a full day in the lab for me. I'm closing off a ton of data that I'm just trying to finish it off so we can close out this project. I don't think masks are going away, but I like to get the data closed out. Why do I want to do this? The goal is to publish this data set. So someday we'll get it published into a journal article. Even if it's just for one individual, I feel like I have a really good data set. I'll characterize it to a known good method with the port account. And then, yeah, that's what we'll, yeah, so that's the plan for all this. So as usual, I just do this to live stream the data so that anyone has questions, they can view it. I'm glad that people enjoy watching it. We'll be testing a bunch of masks. I did take, someone had mentioned that I leveled up to 2 cameras. I was just lazy. I just installed Droid Cam on my phone. In fact, the screen's maybe like a little fuzzy, so I'm gonna wipe it quickly here, just to like see if we can get rid of a little bit of that fuzz. I just did that because I was being lazy and I wanted to have another camera for some of this, but remember, the quality of this isn't always amazing. Okay, so first things first, I need to get my fan going up in here. Turn that on high. Now that I did the whole spiel. Now we're going to be, as usual, using a 16% sodium chloride solution, so that's 8 grams of salt and 50 milliliters of water. For the N95 port account test, we will be switching up to their recommended solution here, which is 1 gram of water in 80 milliliters. I use their test setup in their test, and they send you like these little pre-packaged salt things. Oh, actually, I forgot one mask. I'll be right back. Before I forget, I'll be right back. Sorry. I'm back. Okay. My back also. Alright, I am back. My back is also bugging me today, too. Let's see. Droid Cam is good, but FYI, if your battery keeps dying, restart your phone to make sure it's the process actually closes. Oh, that's a good thing to note. After I'm done using it, I will make sure that. I actually have it hooked up to the charger right now, so it should, in theory, be good for a while, but that's a good call. So many fewer people are wearing masks today, yet prices have gone up a lot. Yes. Okay. Yeah. The mask price thing is all crazy. Some of that's coming out of China. As you probably are well aware, China is going through a massive, another round of massive cases happening there. So, and factories are closing. So that's a big problem. I'm seeing a lot more availability of KF94s because although they also, everyone, if you look at everyone, they're just, Omicron is just hitting everybody hard. So I think it's a tough place to be right now. So we can get started here in just a second. I'll pop that tube off. I'm going to pop... Oh, do I not have the right connection for this? Oh, maybe we'll use this. We'll use this little zero count filter here, the one that goes for the port account. See how good it is. Oh, it's got a lot of pressure drop. All right, so we'll zero count it. Yeah, Korean prices... yeah, I think in general they've kind of stabilized. All right, so you can see that the concentration is now 0 particles per cc, so with the filter attached. This is a different filter than I normally use. This is the one that comes with the port account. I was just being lazy because my other one, I was working on a different experiment, and I changed the tubing connection on it, and it won't connect to this device anymore, and I don't feel like getting another one. So there we go, 0 particles per cc. The 5-second average is now, let's see, if I hit clear, it'll be 0 here in just 1 second. There we go. 6, 5. All right, so it zeroes out. That's what we want to check to make sure that we can measure background and remove the filter off. Wait about a couple seconds. Boom, there the concentration goes back up. My home HVAC and HEPA. Well, I live in a home that was built in 1925, so the HVAC system is kind of clobbered together to make it work within the setup, but I just run MERV 13 filters. Got a bunch of Corsi Renthal boxes hanging out, and HEPAs. Corsi Renthal boxes, great for COVID. You know, in terms of wildfire smoke and ultrafine particles, that'll be another project that I'll be kicking off. Yeah, we'll have some good announcements in the short term here, hopefully, about some cool projects I'll be kicking off to go tackle some of that ultrafine particle stuff. All right, I'm just trying to get my Moldex set up here. It's all twisted and Gilbert. All right, there we go. Okay, so as usual, we'll start with our N100 mask. Now this mask will give us basically 99.9, something like that. It gives us a benchmark baseline. I'll flip on my generator here. You can hear that in the background. It will become annoyingly loud. Everything in this lab is actually annoyingly loud. That's why I had to go to an external mic, or an internal lapel mic. Yeah, so I guess I got to keep my arm off the table there, otherwise it kind of blocks the entire view. Oh, we're also testing the limits of my laptop. That I can tell you pretty much for sure. It's not so much that the HEPA is the issue. I mean, you really do need HEPA for wildfire smoke and ultrafine. Like a MERV 13 is really only about 40% of filtration efficiency at 100 nanometers or 80 nanometers, somewhere 80, 100 nanometers. And so for COVID, it's fine because it's a half micron for COVID and it filters really pretty highly there, 70, 80%. When you get to the ultrafine, it's only getting about 40%. So, you know, it's better. I think that there might be a better optimum for that than MERV 13s. And I think, and we see people doing that. They're using like E13 filters or E11 filters, which is a European test standard, which is kind of like it's not quite HEPA, but it's higher grade. And I think I don't think you need HEPA. I don't think HEPA is worth it. I think the flow rate versus pressure drop difference is not worth it. But getting something into the 70, 80, 90% range is better. That ethereal that I tested a while back, it's about 90% filtration efficiency at around 70, 80 nanometers, somewhere in that range. So I think it's worth it for that size particle. All right, we're at 20,000 particles per cc. All right. Wow, I haven't been in this spreadsheet in a long time. When was the last test I did? A month ago? Let's see. Oh man, I gotta get a new light. That's driving me nuts. 218. Oh my goodness, it's been almost 2 months. I haven't done any test. Oh, it's been too long. It's Moldex N100 control certification N100. It's cup style. It's Yaz worn. Head strap and the upstream concentration. We'll let it stabilize here for a second. Gotta wait just a few minutes for this concentration to stabilize. Mostly because it generates locally here and then it spreads around in the room. I would also like to be on my bike. It's a beautiful day out for a bike ride, but here I am in this room wrapping up my last night work. I've had a nice vacation from mask testing, although I wasn't really, it hasn't really been that much of a vacation for masks in general, definitely for mask testing, but still a lot of work answering questions and trying to figure out how to get a standard in place for ear loop face masks. Working with ASTM, joined the ASTM F23 subcommittee for respirators, so that's fun, just been a busy day. Let's see that concentration. Come on, stabilize. Seems like it has stabilized at 2.035 e to the 4. 2.035 e to the 4. All right, we'll go ahead and don the mask.
And the Moldexes are kind of nice because they got that little clip on them. I also have like an infestation of box elder bugs right now, so if you see one of those climbing around, it's driving me nuts today.
I'm generating a lot of aerosol today. That's kind of interesting. I'll reopen it so you can see what's going on here. It's my lungs that are making them today. So I'll do a very slow breath in. I'll simulate it here so you can see it here. Yeah, so I'm actually generating particles today for a lot. That's interesting. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I have something that's loose or not. It's not really going to affect the measurement too much. We're still like 99.5. I just normally get 99.9, but for some reason today, my lungs are generating more particles. I don't feel like I have any congestion nasally or in my lungs, but I wonder, I mean, I don't have COVID. I know that. Right, call there, 0.080. 0.080.
I don't know if that was a leak in the mask or if I was generating particles when I breathed out. It seemed like I was generating particles when I breathed out. Oh, you know what? I bet you I know exactly what it was. I know what it was. I gotta tap this thing down. There we go. Okay, there's a little sponge. Yep, I know exactly what that was. There's a little sponge inside the little spit trap, and it was sitting up into the gas flow stream, so that makes sense. So it was actually filtering through the sponge. I don't know if I'll need to repeat that test or not, but we'll see what the concentration looks like downstream. Okay, that looks good. Shouldn't affect it really significantly, but when I was breathing out, I bet you the sponge was moving up and down, which makes sense. Why I was like, am I generating 60 particles per cc? I've never seen that before. Like, do I have some lung infection that I don't know about? I just looked at the little sponge thing down. Oh, you know what? I have a second camera, technology, Aaron. You can show everyone the sponge. See, so look, let's see, I'll grab this. Woo, coming along for a ride, everybody. I'll jump over to OBS. Okay, so there's like a little sponge inside of there. See that little orange sponge in there? So it was sitting up to the top of this piece of plexiglass. And so that means that it would not, every time I was breathing in and out, I could see it moving up and down. So that's when I kind of realized, okay, that's the little sponge thing there. So that's what's going on there. So now that we got a second camera, that's kind of nice. We can do things like that. All right. Okay. Let's grab that concentration here quickly. 1.776 e to the 4. 776 e to the 4. Oh, I haven't apparently updated my filtration measurement in a long time, so we'll drag that down a bunch. All right, so we got 100%, but that's not really 100%. It's 99 point. Let's see how many. Let's add some zeros here. How do I do that? Oh, here it is. More zeros. 99.996. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, next up, 49. Oh man, my back is killing me. 3M8210 N95 control. It's an N95. It's cut. I'm gonna take this off so I don't have to write over that tubing. Toss it over there. That thing is, Moldex has lasted me a long time. 2 years I've been using that same mask. Thanks, Moldex, for making a good quality mask that lasts that long. This N95 is on its last leg, so it's slowly been losing filtration efficiency because the straps are just so worn out now. The straps are very, very weak. But this is literally the same mask that I've been using since the beginning. Ever since I got it, because you couldn't get these for a long time, right? Remember in 2020 you couldn't get any N95's? I do. All right. Oh, let's see. Hey, thanks so much for work and communicating well. Yep, no worries, NT. Just glad that people are. January 3rd tests. Everything's in that Google Doc. It's in the description for this video. All my test data. You can find anything in there. Should be all there. Symptoms, yeah, symptoms are different for Omicron. Sore, it's like a sore throat and stuff like that. It's really kind of a bummer that we have not communicated really anything in this pandemic or collectively. I blame the CDC. At this point, you got to get your game together if you want to do this. But it's kind of their job. 1.671 e to the 4. All right, we'll go ahead and don the N95 control mask. Let's see how it does today. Usually I get about 99.5%. But it has been falling down over time because, well, mostly because I feel like the straps are just not very tight anymore. It doesn't really hold that tight to my face. All right, stabilize at 139. 139.2. Go ahead and take the mask off. At 99.17 today. So yeah, usually I get about 99.5. But I've kind of noticed if you plot that over time, it's kind of slowly dropping down. I think it's just that it's not holding as tight a seal to my face. Or maybe the filtration media is finally becoming impacted. It is now almost 2 years old. Is that true that it's 2 years old? No, it's not quite. It's a year and a half old. Over a year and a half old. I guess I don't know how old it is. When did I get that? Time is such a anomaly with COVID. I guess I started this in 8 of 2020, so yeah, it's like 18 months old, so yeah, it's kind of an old mask. All right, I think we are stabilized at 1.485 e to the 4. 1.485 e to the 4. All right, 99.12. So it's a little lower than I typically see, but I like I said, I've been seeing that come down. And it's just that these straps are like so loose and stretchy now. They don't really have any tension left in them. Okay, the last mask that we use as a control mask is the Air Queen. The Air Queen typically comes around 89%. Again, I'm seeing this one also drop over time too, and I'm going to guess that's just that it's starting to wear. Maybe I'll have to. Luckily, I have a few of these still have. In fact, I still have it. So I always plan ahead because I'm a weirdo. I do actually have another 3M 8210 from that exact same lot sitting in the basement. I got 3 of them at the same time, and I also have the Air Queens as well from the same lot, so I can bring them back if I need to. I just never expected myself to be still doing this long, to be honest with you. If you asked me in 2020, Aaron, in almost 2 years later, would you still be testing masks? I would say no. There'll be government agencies that do that. The masking problem will be over. Everyone will understand that COVID's aerosol and that spread mechanism. Oh, how wrong I would be. 1.406 e to the 4. 1.406 e to the 4. I'm really excited to try this mask with the port account. I think that will be really interesting to see what we get with the port account and with the N95 companion. Because if you get a situation where the N95 fit test comes at a really high rate, but it does bad at the N100 N99 test, it tells you that the filter media is not great. We'll do some interesting tests with the port account. I don't know if I'll get them all in this live stream. I might have to come back later tonight and finish it. So I'll do it for a couple hours here. They'll have a break. I got to do some research on the fit testing, and we'll come back and we'll do a bunch of port account to this comparisons later tonight. It's gonna be all day testing for me, and then we'll collect all the data, and then I'll be done, and then I'll use it to publish the data set. So I'm gonna stop talking now and try to get this thing to seal nicely in. I feel like it's a little crooked on my face. All right, call there 1447. 1447. All right, 89.71%. So that's pretty good so far. All right, next up. Oh boy, what should we do first? Well, wait for this. You get a chance to shout. So here are your options for the next mask. we have, let's see what we got that's good. Okay, here are your 3 choices to start with. Do you want to do N95s, which the option would include a Moldex the 2200 series or a Milwaukee N95 that came from Home Depot. You got and then we'll also do those to start with. Do you want to do the KF94s? KF94s are going to be kind of a bunch of mixed bag stuff that you can get at H Mart, which is a Korean Korean supermarket. Or do you want to do the weird masks? Like, technically it's an N95. It's this Champak N95 and the SHEMA97. So quickly put your vote in there. Industrial N95's, KF94s, or the weird masks. What would you like to start with while I record this data? 1.231 e to the 4. I mean, we're going to do it all in the end of the day, but I guess I think some people are like, Aaron, get to the good stuff so I don't have to watch the whole video. So I'll let you decide what the good stuff is. All right, so weird masks from Johnny. Johnny says weird masks. Kaylin M says weird masks. Okay, weird masks. We got one who's getting emails. Weird masks. Okay, we got more weird ones. All right, I'll find another weird. Let's see if I have any other weird masks in here. I call them weird because they're atypical in the sense of like they're not a standard, mask design. They have some weirdness to them. I would actually classify the Moldex as a weird too because it has the mesh outer. So we will do these masks. Here comes the next 3. All right. Let's start with the weirdest of the bunch, the Shima97. Now this is a non-rated mask. It's basically transparent. You can see me through it, hopefully. Hey, look at me, look at me. And it is probably not that great. That would be my guess. It does not breathe that easy. One of the things they advertise is, it's the most breathable mask. It's like, no, you haven't tried a V-Flex. Because if you tried a V-Flex, you get 99%. 99 point, oh, I don't want to plug my CPC. You get 99.5% filtration efficiency, and it's super breathable. In fact, it's the most breathable mask I have tested to date. We'll have, that reminds me, I got to send an email. We'll have an interview with 3M. I'll be interviewing on Tuesday to chat with them about masks, and just I got a lot of questions for them, especially around the safeguard and some of the other stuff. So I set up an interview with them, some of their technical staff. So that will be a fun thing. It'll take me a few weeks to get that video edited and out, but if you keep an eye out for that. That'll happen too. All right. So we got 5 votes for weird and 1 vote for industrial. So sorry, Joseph Middleton, we will be doing the weird mask first. I'm gonna need a mask brace for this mask because it fits like a hot piece of garbage. I'm not impressed with the fit of the mask. It's very poor. The nose wire is very weak. I have a feeling the filtration efficiency also not great, but let's let the test determine the filtration efficiency. Again, I'll be careful not to hit the mic here with my thing. So here we go. It's gonna be today's date. Copy, paste, and then it's the Shima97. Now this is a non-rated mask. It's a bifold. It's gonna be as worn for the first test. It's black-ish ear loops. Concentration upstream, 1.10 e to the 4, 1.102 e to the 4. All right, let's find out how does the Shima97 do. And now it is kind of weird that it has like a lanyard style, which I did catch around the tube, I think. Let's see what the heck, I don't really need the lanyard connection, so I'm going to skip that. The ear loops are a hot piece of they're not very, this whole mask. This mask is not a really well sorted mask here. If you're looking for droplet protection, okay, sure, maybe. But we're beyond droplet. We know it's not droplet. Or at least if it is droplet, it's not just droplet, it's aerosol. And you need aerosol protection. All right, so we'll do it as worn, and then I'll put the mask on. It is leaking. I'm getting a little bit of leak right here because the nose wire is so weak that I can't get it to seal to my nose. All right. Wow, the Shima97 should have been called the Shima Don't 97, or maybe it means that 97% of the particles get through. Let's find out.
All right, called there at 3766. 3766. Wow, that is 65%. Wow, what an incredible mask. Who would have figured that a very thin layer of some weird nano mesh does not actually filter aerosols? I am just shocked. Let me tell you, utterly shocked by the fact that someone claimed a mask to be way more than it really does. It's almost like we have test standards for this. Oh, YouTube Pug, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate that. I forgot to chat you and say thanks in advance. I was going to have this live stream. This live stream kind of happened last minute. It's a beautiful day outside. I was going to go out that, but my wife was like, I told her that I wanted to do this test, and she kind of like helped clear the schedule for me to do this. So big thanks to my wife for letting me sit inside and do this. So thanks for jumping on that, YouTube Pug. Appreciate that. All right. Stabilized upstream concentration 1.026 e to the 4. We're almost down to the low level that I don't like to be at, so we'll have to kick on the generator, but let's finish this one more time for the Shima. This time, whoops. And for those that don't follow it or are new, I will sometimes test a mask in different configurations. So this guy's is going to be plus fix the mask, meaning I'm using to fix the mask brace. It's a mask brace to seal it to my face. That way, we can ensure that all the flow is going through the filter media, and it gives us an indication of how well does the does the mask filter. So I need to go down here and say fix the mask. There we go. The idea is that 1.016 e to the 4. 1.016 e to the 4. Now I gotta turn the generator back on. The idea behind this is that the fix the mask brace is elastomeric. It's like a silicone seal system. So it's gonna. Oh, this thing is hot garbage. So we're gonna use that to seal up my face. And I look in the mirror, and since I got camera 2, hi camera 2, you can look at me and watch me do this. It's kind of a freaky little mask too. I mean, like it's like almost like I'm wearing like some like lingerie on my face, where you can like it's like partially obscured, but not fully like occluded. Yeah, it's kind of a weird deal. All right, let's do this. All right, probe is on. The mask is sealed as best as I can get it to seal. The nose wire is hot garbage. Oh, that does not bode well. I'm trying to make sure it stays under my chin. $38.62. Let's call it $38.62. So, not amazing. The addition of the mask did not help. It's probably within the error of measurement, so it's not a big deal. 61%. So it's pretty much like a really shitty cloth mask. So congratulations, Shima97. You have made the Shima Don't 97. Just don't buy it. All right. Next up, turn the generator on. Then we're going to do the Champak. Now, the Champak is a NIOSH N95. It has a TC number. Let's take a look and see where they are out of. Someone sent this to me. They said, Aaron, this mask breathes so well. And actually, I tried it on. It does. It breathes crazy easy. They said, is it real? And I said, I've never heard of Champak, but let's find out. So here we are. It's the TC8138. Let's see who it goes to. Unfortunately, the CDC site really sucks. Because you have to go A to Z here. But let's see if we can find Champak under the C's. Let's go scroll down. Let's do a search for Champak. Here we go. 84A 8138 is what we're looking for. 8138. Here it is. The PC502L. Yep, that's the one I got. What does no and yes mean here? Reusable?
valve. Oh, it's okay. So it's a valveless mask. 81. So I'm using the 520L. Okay, so that's what we got to put in there. Okay, so it is an iostrated mask. It is showing up there. I'm going to keep an eye on that concentration here just for 1 second. Where am I at? Where am I at? I'm all over the place. Okay. Champak PC52L. NIOSH N95. Now it is N95. It's bifold. I'm going to do as worn. It's white. And it's head strap. I'm going to let that concentration stabilize for a second. See if there's got any questions here. All right, let's see. Someone had mentioned that South Korea removed all restrictions as right before the election. You are correct. South Korea said, we are going to live with the virus, and their conservative government took over, and then they got rid of all their restrictions, and then Omicron hit, and then they had super high case counts and the highest death rate. It turns out politics and a virus don't mix very well. Or mix really well, depending on your perspective. From the virus's perspective, it loves it. You should keep some... Aaron, you should keep some KF94, K95 masks to test them in the future, years past direction. Oh, maybe. I hope I'm not doing this in 4 years. But if I am, I'll have a whole basement full of them. I still have glasses fogging issues with my good manner KF94. It's gradually warming up. So yeah, glasses fogging. I wish I had a great solution for that. I've tested a few things and I haven't found something that works really well, if it's just like that. Let's see. Someone was just talking about that they're on the Lakeshore Limited train. I saw another Palcom. I haven't seen too many Palcoms. Palcom disappointed me. Not their business process disappointed me. They kind of screwed over a bunch of people with during the Omicron, selling masks that they didn't have. I'm not a big fan of that from a business perspective. Mask is a good price point, but kind of like they kind of really dropped the ball from a business standpoint. So it's hard to recommend you a company. They're like, oh yeah, they sold a bunch of masks, and then a month later they're like, oh yeah, we don't have those masks. People bought them from you. Kind of not cool. Someone had mentioned that they saw. Let's see. Just say thank you. Yeah, no problem. Glad to help. Most transparent family where people don't wear masks. Absolutely pivotal. Most transmission occurs in family setting where people don't wear masks. Yes, you're right. I mean, masks alone will not solve the pandemic, but masks make communal spaces like classrooms, workspaces, and grocery stores safe, so life can continue as normal-esque, combined with good rapid testing, good PCR, wastewater management, and most importantly, ventilation. We can make spaces space. In fact, I think you can make a place that has a very low probability of transmission with ventilation alone, and we need to do that. Masks cannot be worn forever. We can't do this forever. COVID is not going away. We need to improve the ventilation in our spaces so that when we have surges, we mask up, but outside of surges, we use the building ventilation to do that. We are nowhere near that point yet, as much as people want to believe that this is over. What I'm talking about is rates that are incredibly low, nowhere near where we are at now. I think we still should be wearing masks in many places. So, but yeah, anyways, that's my personal opinion. While we wait for that concentration to stabilize, let's see if I got anything else. Saw one of those masks at a grocery store the other day. Could have sworn it was one of those minimally compliant. I have seen them too. I saw someone wear it. I see a teacher wears it at school, and I was like, I don't know anything about that mask. I've heard about them. I don't think they're very good. I'm going to test it. So I can tell you, teacher, if you're going to wear it, don't even bother wearing that. It doesn't breathe very well, and it doesn't filter very well. Wear a better mask. You can find one that breathes easier and actually protects you, or you can wear that thing. All right. The January 3rd. Okay, so I saw someone in there while we wait. Yes, January 3rd is blank. That's because the January 3rd test was a test to measure Aaron 2.0 versus a breathability test. So yes, there was no filtration measurement, but all of that data those masks have already been tested in the past. So yes, that January 3rd data is an Aaron 2.0 versus Aaron regular lung test to correlate those two test methods. Mostly this was done, one, characterize Aaron 2.0, which is this mannequin-based test system, see how well it worked. It didn't work that well. It's kind of a pain in the ass to use. Regular Aaron works just as well with the time breathing test, but I wanted to correlate those two methods to show that there is mannequin versus Aaron breathing test has this linear correlation. The reason being is, again, that is for publishing this data. Because I use the Aaron breathing test, people would ask, like, what is that? It's like this made-up test. So I characterized it to a mannequin so that we can show, like, okay, that breathing test is a cheap and effective way to measure pressure drop if you don't have access to, like, high-performing flow control system and a pressure drop measurement and a mannequin that you 3D printed. You can use your own lugs in a $25 gauge. You actually probably could even get it one cheaper than, but that one I bought happened to be $25 to measure this. So to me, it's all about how do you do mask testing on a budget. That will be the title, or like the theme of my paper will be like, how do you do this just to like maybe show other people how to do it, or if we have to do this again in the future. And just characterize these different ways to do it. I also did it because Lloyd armrest data, I got a bunch of masks that Lloyd had tested, and I had Lloyd's mask that he had made to show that the Lloyd armrest pressure measurement that he does in his clamp-based mechanism does not have any correlation. So I tested the same mask using my method, using Aaron 2.0 timed breathing test, and then compared that data to publish Lloyd's data, and there was like zero correlation, meaning that Lloyd's test for pressure drop was not really that effective. I think it's a byproduct of his test system. Okay, all that talking aside, 2.08, e to the 4. Let's kick this off. Really breathable. Super breathable. It's almost like V-Flex breathable. It's bifold. It's a little on the small side. But easily convertible to ear loop. Easily convertible to ear loop. Wow. How does it perform, though? Oh, shit. This is the real deal. All right, Champak. You had me at hello. You had me at the dawning of the mask. It's a pretty dope mask. All right, called there at 113. Wow, this is really good. I am really impressed with that mask. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to record the upstream concentration for the Shima. Oops. Wow. So I'm going to give you a little view of this. So camera 2.0. All right, let me switch over to OBS so I can see it. All right, camera 2, come with me. Technology, you're flying. All right, check that out. So on the mask, we got this like soft like foam as a sealing mechanism, which actually worked pretty well. It's pretty comfortable. The mask, if you can see how it's got these streaks in it, so it's actually pleated internally. So they pleated the mask internally, and then there's like the outer two layers are just on the outside. So it's a pleated mask inside, and then captured on the outer two layers by your spun bond. Really very breathable. Is it as breathable as V-Flex? Nah, it's probably not, but it might be the second most breathable mask. So that's pretty dang cool. Kevin at Flow Mask, you should do the same thing. You should internally, we talked about this before, but he should internally pleat it and then seal it. He'd get a way better mask than that. But he's got a lot of other things he's tackling at the same time, so I can understand. Focus on the core business. 1.954, e to the 4. 1.954, e to the 4. All right, so the Champak might be the second most breathable mask I've tested. We'll have to get the data to confirm, but that was a big surpriser in the bunch. All right, so this is an atypical mask for those not familiar with the Moldex style mask. Moldex style masks feature this kind of rough outer textured surface. They do not have a nose wire. It is just like, I have that Moldex N100. It fits or it doesn't fit. This is the medium large version, so I'll make sure I type that in there. It does fit me really well. I already tested it. I mean, not tested, I put it on in the sense that I've worn it, but I have not actually tested it. We'll do that right now. Oh, let's see. Okay, so this is gonna be, so Champak, wow, you kind of really shocked me on that one. The person that sent it to me was like, I don't think it's real, Aaron. It breathes too easy. And I said, yeah, you know, I kind of believe you. Like, it shouldn't be that easy for a mask of that design. I was wrong. It turns out, P2. Oh wait, 220P2 medium/large. Now I don't have to Google that this is a NIOSH N95. I know it is. It's a very popular mask. You're probably wondering, Aaron, why are you testing these weird random masks? These are the masks that they were handing out for free. So we'll be testing all the NIOSH N95 masks that they were handing out. The government was handing out for free, just to get them in the database. Like I said, I don't think masking is going to go away, and I think there'll be people that will be curious about this in the future. I'm blocking my own vision. I can't see. Aaron, what are you writing here? Mask out of the way. All right. So I'm just counting on that. 1.596. Because I've invested so much time into this project. Maybe it's the sunk cost fallacy. Like, you know, chasing bad money or chasing what they call good money with bad money. But I feel like I'm so invested in this project that I got to take it to fruition. Right? Finish it off. Okay, so there's no nose wire, and this mask happens to fit my face wonderfully. I am either a freak of nature, which I think it's quite possible that I just happen to have a face this. In the NIOSH bivariate panel, I'm that lucky person. Ooh, the nose, I will say that the elastic straps, would be nice to have a little bit of adjustability. Whoo-wee! That is a strong strap. Ooh. Ooh, maybe too strong. Breathability is really good. Probably better than the 8210. But I will say this mask is super face specific because the no nose wire here. All right, 212.7. We stabilized around 212.7. Oh, how about 212.7? 98.67. So that's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. I don't know if that's a media or a fit. It feels really good. I can't use the fix the mask with that. It's that stiff outer shell. It's not going to work very well. So that's not worth probably changing. I mean, 98.67 is really good. It'll be, that mask will be, oh, that's a good one. That will be on my N95 fit test and N90 when I do that. Because if I get a really good fit factor, we'll know that that's the media. Tuber says, oh wait, we moved on. Oh, maybe he's thinking about something else. Judah the world champ. I don't have any good jokes for you. I can't quite host a stand-up show to his level. And yes, that was the Moldex 220 that was sent to me. So Judah sent this to me. Judah, the world champ Judah. If you like comedians and you like someone who is a big proponent for masking and good quality masks, check him out. He's a really cool person. He also hosts cool shows. You can log in, just pay whatever you want to watch a funny stand-up. I checked it out a couple weeks ago.
It was actually really good. He had some comedians that warmed up for him that I thought were super hilarious. I was riding my bicycle at the same time and doing some training, getting ready for crit season. Because I haven't ridden my bike very much because I've been so busy with masks. I was doing indoor stuff because it's been rainy here all week. And getting ready for crit season, criterium racing, and got to watch that. And then, yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So he did an excellent job. Okay, so let's do some more N95s. We're going to do best to worst. Okay, so best. I think the Milwaukee vented is really good. Those that want to talk about quickly about vents, in general, if they require universal masking, do not use a vented mask. The CDC study that tested the quality of vented mask and correlated them to surgical mask, I think is actually flawed. I've really been quiet about that because I just said, hey, look, I don't think we should wear a vented mask at all. I'll dig into that one more, but that study has a fundamental flaw with how they did it. It's not a terrible, it's a good first order estimate, meaning that the vent, it definitely lets stuff out. But the comparison to surgical masks, surgical masks are not good enough for a pandemic because we need aerosol control. But in general, if it's universal masking, do not use a vented mask. If no one's wearing a mask and you want to wear a vented mask, I see no issue with that. If people don't, it's silly, but okay, sorry, I'm looking for one mask. Okay, so the other interesting of the day is, and this will be a question that I actually have to email Draeger about. So we're going to do this one next, because Judah was kind of interested about this. Camera 2. I forgot I have camera 2. Okay, I got the pack of masks. Sorry, I'm not cognizant enough to realize that I have 2 cameras now. I like the second camera because it's a little bit easier. One, I hope it lets you see how I'm testing and fitting masks. I also should close that cupboard. My wife be like, you didn't close that cupboard, Aaron. All right. Okay, so these 2 masks are identical. These are the Draeger X1750 Explorers. Okay. What is interesting about these is that this one is the one. Actually, I can't tell. This one is the one I tested in my last live stream. Very, very breathable. It's part number 3951330. 3951330. And it has a TC number 84A9238. This is the one I tested. Now, Judah had sent me one that he had got. What's interesting is it has a different part number. Oh, no, sorry. I think I have it the wrong way. I can tell you just by breathability. Just one second. I can tell by breathability. Bad one. Good one. Okay, so part number 3951330 or TC number 84A9238. This is the one I tested a few weeks ago. Really breathable mask. Now I have the Draeger part number 3951329, so it's apparently one less than that one. Same lot number, but it has a different TC number, 84A9053. It's different. And the construction, slightly different. Breathability, not that great. Noticeably much worse than this one. So what the heck, Draeger? The Explorer 1750 has 2 part numbers. Which one is it? And how do you make sure that you get the good breathable one and not the not great breathable one? Okay? So, let's find out today. So I'm kind of, I guess I could have told you which one was which because one has you can't see there. One has a test port punched in it and one does not have a test port. This is the one that I pulled out of the box of the whole box that I have from them. These are great masks, by the way. I like them. Except I'm really bummed that they have 2 versions of it that they didn't tell any of us about. All right, let's find out how well it performs. But I can tell you right now, the breathability on this mask is noticeably worse than the other Draeger. So it's going to have to be a correction that I put out there to fix that issue. Because people are going to be like, hey, I bought this Draeger early. It was not that breathable. I'll be like, well, yeah, it turns out that X15750 Explorer, so I got to email them to find out why is this mask, what do these 2 part numbers represent? Now, the one is supposedly made in the U.S., 3951329. So part number. I hope that flickering is not showing up in here. My light is just flickering. It's driving me absolutely bonkers. Sorry. It's a bifold. It's as worn. It's white. It's head strap. And yes, I will. Jude, I just saw it. Yes, I will be testing the DC300 too. That is a hot pile of garbage mask. Oh, that's bad. I don't know how they hit. How that's not. I should prove. 1.214 e to the 4. 1.214
All right, let's do this. Okay, I gotta fix the nose wire because the clamping that they do on there is just like not fitting very well to my nose. There we go. All right, let's try this again. All right, I'm getting a leak around the nose. That's the first thing. Fix that. All right, call there at 90.78. 90.78. 99.25. So good dang mask, but breathability is noticeably worse. Now, Judah said that this mask may have been made in China. He's going to check the box. So we'll do the next crappy mask. This is the worst mask I've ever seen. This thing is a hot pile of garbage. Actually, I've had some really good conversations with a person who is the OG mask nerd. We have had some really good conversations. She's filled me in on a lot of info about N95's and actually what you need to do to get one approved. And it turns out that you don't have to do fit testing on a panel to get an N95 approved right now. There's some, they require you to do some work, but it's not as robust as it needs to be. And that's why I was wondering, like, how are these masks that, there's no way that some of these masks could fit a wide variety of face sizes within the panel. And it turns out, well, yeah, the way they test it, there's no requirement for that right now. It will change in the future, though. They're trying to fix that, which means a lot of N95s are going to get taken off the market. Anyways, that's going to be a piece of interesting. 1.1, what was it? I wasn't paying attention. 1.120 e to the 4. Okay, so the Draeger, filtration efficiency is good. Pressure drop is not that great on that part number. So I don't know what's going on with that, if that's the made in China version. So kind of bummed that there's a difference in those. So that's an email question to my friends at Draeger. Not really my friends. I'm not really, I say that ubiquitous. I don't want people to think I'm actually friends with Draeger. But now this mask is a hot pile of garbage. This is the Honeywell DC395 N95. I mean, I don't know who it fits. I don't know who would it fit, but it has no nose wire. It's like a soft molded cup mask. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Honeywell DC395 N95. It's an N95. It is a cup style. It's going to be as worn. It's white. It's head strap. It's not that great. We'll have to turn the generator on here. I'm not going to disclose who the OG mask nerd is, but yeah, they know more than I will ever know, and have 30 years doing this in their background. So I got connected with them, and it's been really, yeah, it's great. It's really informative about how I can update. Yeah, it's really cool. They're very helpful. They've been very supportive of the work. They didn't think I was crazy. They actually were like, oh, that's really a great, interesting way. I mean, I think they held some reservation about it, which they should. Okay, this thing sucks. Now, is it too big for my face? Maybe. But, like, it can't seal the valley of my nose right here. It's just leaking right here. Right here. I mean, I can't see myself in there. Okay, so it's crazy. I don't understand this mask design. So it's right here. I'm just blasting. Well, let's see what we can get. I don't understand how or why they did this. So we'll do it normally, and then I'll pinch the nose. God, it's driving me nuts because I can feel it like blasting air into my eyes. Okay, I'm just going to accept the blast of air. Be one with the mask, Aaron. Be one with the mask. All right, 2697. I don't have to wait too long for that one. That's stabilized basically because it's leaking. 2697. So 75%. Okay, not great. Oh, the head straps are tight. We'll do it again with the nose. It leaks like right here. It's blowing out. I don't understand who would ever design that mask. Honeywell, I don't know what your plan was with that one. You need something to close the nose wire, the valley of the nose. Now, I don't think I feel like I have a very like crazy nose wire there, or nose bridge height, so that's kind of weird. We're going to quickly finish that up. We'll turn the generator on, we'll ask some questions, and then we're going to do the Milwaukee one. The Milwaukee one is really nice. This Milwaukee one has this nice gasket inside, so that, they got the nose cut out here, and then they got the gasket surface here, so you get a really good seal, good stiff outer sider, and it is valved, which helps with breathability, but, construction-wise, good mask. Now, my brother, he likes this mask, and he was complaining that it does load up pretty fast. Yeah, I don't know. They should be free. I don't know. Honeywell should give them out for free, not just the government, because I don't know who should pay. Actually, don't give them out for free, because people should probably be wearing this mask. It's pretty bad. Let it stabilize here for 20 more seconds. I'll don it again, and we'll run this test again. All right, 1.02. Use it for. We'll don this mask again, and then I'm going to pinch the lack of a nose wire. They really just need a nose wire. I don't know. It's just a weird mask. Really, I don't know what they were thinking here. Sorry, Honeywell. The breathability is good, actually. It's a pretty breathable mask. But the lack of a nose wire. I know. Why not just put a metal stick on nose wire? I don't understand that. All right, call it 119.7. So, yeah, 98.83. So, another good N95. Filter-wise and pressure drop-wise is good, but with no nose wire, like, what were they thinking? I don't understand who that was going to fit for. DC395 is made in Mexico. Es posible. It doesn't say who it is. This lot was 210201. P12 in case we ever need that in the future. No, this is the DC300 N95. According to the printing on the side, it's kind of a hard mask to read in terms of the printing on that. All right, we'll call it there. 20 seconds at 94.90. We are below my threshold, so we need to turn the generator back on. So let's generate some aerosol quickly. All right, next up, we're gonna do the Moldex. This is a really nice mask. And as Judah was pointing out, it comes with adjustable head loops, so you can adjust the headbands. You can adjust the headband. They got a little adjuster on there, so that's really nice. Both sides, and they put this little. That's a really nice feature. See, that's a nice detail. See, they put the little like plastic washer, and so you have something to pull on to get it off of there. And it doesn't go all the way to the end that way. That's a nice little detail. Good job. I guess they probably did that so you didn't pull the adjuster all the way off, but still, it's those nice details like that. Good job. Milwaukee. I don't know who's making it for it. I guess probably. I don't know if you can chase down who makes it for it. Not through the NIOSH. The NIOSH will just show it as that. So this is the Milwaukee. I'm trying to remember how to spell Milwaukee. I think that's how you spell. No, Milwaukee. Must be. There's an L there. Isn't that where Milwaukee? Isn't that where? What's that movie? I'm blanking on the name now. So this is the 5073-4000 NIOSH N95. It's N95. It's cup shaped. We'll do it as worn. It's white, and it's head strap. I'm blanking on the name. Garth and what's the name of that movie? Wayne's World. Isn't the concert in Milwaukee? Is that where they're based out of in Wayne's World? Milwaukee. Did I spell it right? Let's see. Oh, I got it. Isn't Wayne's World in Milwaukee? I think that's set there or something like that. For surely, Kenosha, Wisconsin's finest Weezer. All right, we're up at the concentration. We'll flip that off. So my brother actually likes this mask a lot too. He works in construction, and has told me though his only complaint has been on this mask is that it loads up really fast. That he likes the fit, the seal's really good, the venting's on it, the breathability's good, but then it loads up on the face. So we'll be testing that. Yeah. So for those that can't see, this is the gasket that Judah's talking about here. So it's just like the soft foam gasket here. It's really nice. I got to give him props to that. It's made in India. Interesting. Judah says it's made in India. All right. Let's let that concentration stabilize. It's coming down a little bit, and then it'll stabilize, and then we can start the test. I will say that the best power tools, no complaints to the DeWalt fans out there, but the Milwaukee power tools, really good too. Big fan of Milwaukee power tools. I've been using those a long time. All right. A little higher than I'd like, but it will be okay. 3.233 e to the 4. 3.233 e to the 4. All right. So here we go. Let's don the Milwaukee. So adjust the head straps so I can get a nice uniform pressure. Oh, that is really nice. Big chunky nose wire like the 8210. Breathability, amazeballs. Really good breathability. Plus it's so stiff. No mask claps. I get it. It's maybe a little big for me though. We'll see. I just don't feel like it. I'm like hitting the port. I put the port too low. The port's stuck against my face. That's a little bit of a problem. There you go. All right, 91.15. You know, I gotta say that this is a really good mask. I mean, if you're around people that aren't taking, if there's no universal mask mandate, valve mask, I'm saying they're fine. Really breathable mask. The stiff construction is almost nicer than the 82 tin because it's so stiff. The gasketing, it really helps. I feel like it's a little big for me where I was tucking under my chin. The problem that I have is I had to put the port below. I guess I don't know why I have a second camera. So I had to put the port below the vent, and so my chin was getting really close to that. So I could feel that my face was maybe a little bit too small for this particular size. But the chunky, big honk and nose wire and the gasketing and the breathability, I think if you had to go a cut mask in a space without universal masking, that might be my pick. I haven't tried the 3M equivalent of that, so I guess I can't say that for sure. But of the cut masks that I've tried so far, that might be at 99.7 on that one too. Breathability is really good. Now, breathability data I'll get later. I usually do that offline. I don't think anyone cares about that. It's not really like that. I've had videos about how I do it. All right, so this is the Uline. I'm not a fan of that as a company. I get their catalog, and every time I read it, the woman that owns it, or is the family member that owns it, just, I don't understand why they let her publish. She writes her own column in the Uline magazine, or the Uline catalog. Every quarter I get it. And I always look at her and I just say, you are so out of touch with reality. You should not write in there. It might appeal to some of your marketing segment, but it does not appeal to me. 99.7 for the filtration there, Judah. Yes. So that's as worn on my face. So yeah, probably a little higher than that, because I'm sure. Well, it's hard to say. It felt like it fit me pretty well. It's just that my face, like this distance, that gasketing was kind of tucking here, which is good for seal. But the problem is that I just did not want that port to touch my chin. It would seal, it would block, and then I would flood my CPC. So I had to always be careful about not plugging that test port. But otherwise, it's a good mask. I like that. Thank you for sending all those to me. We're still not done with Judah sent me a whole bunch of masks. We're still working our way through that stack of masks there. All right, we'll call that 2.33 e to the 4. 2.33 e to the 4. All right, so this will be the Uline. I also noticed that this mask has this cool foam gasketing on the top for the nose. Actually, I did not, you can probably see it there. Not bad. I was like, it's going to suck. But actually, it is better than I thought. Also adjustable. Head loops. I'm not sure. We'll try to adjust them here. I think then you pull it down this way. Yep. Okay. Good adjustable. No nose wire, so I don't. Not a. Breathability is And you're getting some collapse. Crinkling against my face. All right, 249. 249. I'm going to call it there at 249. 98.93, so pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there's any metal in there, Judah, so that might be an option. Although I would really like to see manufacturers publish that data, so then people can, MRIs, I think it's a good question. So people getting MRIs, you can't wear a metal mask. It would be nice if people would publish which masks are there. Now, some examples of that would be like Ready Mask is for surely not. That Moldex 2200, not. That would not be MRI compatible. This Moldex in this 2200 has metal staples. I'm not a big fan of the metal staples. They are allowed for N95s, but that has metal staples. This Honeywell DC395 would be an option, but it's a hot pile of garbage in terms of a mask. So maybe this Uline might be a good option for people that need a mask without metal. I wish they would. All right, take that concentration, 2.238. Sorry, 2.338 e to the 4 for the upstream. So we end up with 98.93. So yeah, 98.93. So good option. Oh, Aaron, what are you doing here? Try that again. All right, sorry, I'm distracting myself from everything. All right, so this is going to be, oh boy, not going to be able to spell this all correctly because I can't. I'm not. I do not mean to mispronounce these because I'm xenophobic. I just the English pronunciation, like how they write it. I know like X is not an X sound like we would have in English. It's a G sound. So Jian Tao, Zhang Tao, Zhang Tao, Shan Yi. I suck at spelling that, so I just it's not. I do try my best. People like to talk shit about China, but they shouldn't. They're people too. You can talk crap about their leaders. I'm not a fan of Putin, that's for sure right now. But the Russians themselves, as a people, I don't blame the people. They're just pawns in a game. So I don't blame the Chinese people, but I do have issues with sometimes their leadership. All right. Yes, also a good mask if you're battling Magneto. Good question. If you're trying to be COVID positive when you're battling Magneto, that's a great option. Because, you know, you don't want to get COVID having beat Magneto. Duh. All right, 20 E to the 4. We'll go ahead and don. Now this mask, not just kind of your generic N95. Breathability, not great. Itchy. Oh, it's an itchy one. Oh, I hate when they're itchy like this. All right, we started out at 1385. 1385. That is not really amazing. We're gonna have to. I don't know if that's a nose leak or what. So we'll pull it off. We'll use the fix the mask. Otherwise, we got ourselves an underperforming N95 here, ladies and gentlemen. 93.34. Not a legit one, or it may be legit but underperforming. Let's find out. I was looking through the Ready mask because they posted a video the other day about the competition or whatever. Not sure if they're actually going to manufacture the mask or not, though. Oh. Ready mask has released a mask. You might be thinking of maybe the Flow mask. They're in the Biod, whatever the mask competition is. Let's see. Safi says most people aren't wearing masks anymore, but I am. Me too. Every day at work. Even though we don't have to wear masks at work anymore. But I still do. Oh, so they made her. Oh, interesting. That ready mask jumped back in the game again. I didn't know that. I didn't see that they had submitted a mask to that. So my bad. Frekios. I'm not sure how to pronounce your username. Maybe it's Greek. Maybe you're Greek. Maybe not. All right, 1.97 e to the 4. Okay, so Judah says, I first bought the ZYB11 in the spring or summer 2020, and now currently Montgomery's giving out for free. Okay, let's try this again. I'll put the fix the mask brace on it. Let's try the fix the mask brace. See if we can get it to seal up. If we can't, quality control on these masks, not great. Now, they are a NIOSH approved mask, so we're going to assume it's legit. That is, it actually came from the manufacturer. Now, of course, there's no guarantee. There's always shysters out there in the world right now. And always shysters. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to get that up onto there. We'll get it to pull under my face. We're just going to use that to really seal it up tightly to my face. I don't feel as if there's any air coming through it, so it's hard to say for sure, but it doesn't. 1.825 E to the 4. 1.825 E to the 4. Let's go ahead and connect the mask. All right, we have stabilized 530.4. 530.4. All right, 9709. So I just had a leaky mask. Couldn't tell I was leaking. That one's just one of those hard that's tell. Someone I don't know is walking through the alley. I think she must live here. Must be visiting a child. She's looking at me going, what the heck is this dude doing in his bathroom? She is staring at. She can't tell that I can see her. It must be the lights reflecting off the window. She's looking at me like, what is happening in that room in there? Because I'm kind of hidden below the monitor of my laptop, but she's looking. That's funny. Let's see. Judah says the Draeger mask lists as Germany as the manufacturer, so I'm not sure if it's an issue of U.S. versus German manufacturing. They might have a different facility. I'll email on the mask because the breathability is noticeably different, which sucks because I can't. Then I have to say, well, no, you got to make sure that this version, which not really that useful. Let's see, N95. We got more coming. We're not done yet. I'm working through it pretty fast here. Then I'm going to take a break. Then we'll fire up the port account. Then after the port account, sorry, man, I'm going to set this for right now. Then we'll fire up the port account. Not N95. Just want to get them queued up here. Okay, next up, let's do something fun. Duckbill. I'm sorry, Johnny. I didn't know that there was two versions out there. Okay, so this is the Halyard Fluidshield. First observation versus Kimberly Clark, better elastic material, it's way stiffer, maybe a little bit bigger. I'll have to check sizing, but they use like a solid aluminum nose wire. Well, money, money, money. Yeah, I mean, I just feel bad when I give advice and then it's like every time someone tells me they gotta get a KF94 and they don't like the one that I said or it doesn't fit them well, it does make me feel bad. But you don't feel bad about telling me. I try to make sure I give good advice, you know. So this is the Halyard Fluidshield. So this is a surgical rated fluid shield. Fluid shield. N95. This is an N95. It's a duckbill. I'm gonna do it as worn. It's white and orange. We'll say it's white. I don't think anyone cares about the color. So Vasilis G says there are at least 3 different Draeger mask factories: Europe, Sweden, France, and England. And I know there's one in the U.S. too. The reason I know there's one in the U.S. is the requirement to get the mask sold. So it turned out that they released all those masks from the stockpile, but they were actually submitting requests for quotes or requests for proposal from mask companies to fill it back up, and Draeger built a plant in the U.S., I think, to do just that.
to build. So they had to be U.S. made. So all of the supply of masks that were given out by the government were all U.S. made masks, meaning physically made in the U.S. Draeger might be a German company, but you had to make your mask in the U.S. As I understand it, I'm not in the government, so maybe that's a lie. But every mask that I've seen listed and the information that I received from people who are privy to some of that was that they had to use. Oh boy. Okay, so I hadn't tried this on first, but boy, oh boy, is that a... Yo! Those straps, I felt like I was going to rip them off. I heard the mask creaking because I was... So they need to do a little work. The straps are... The material is not amazing. Whew. Okay, right away. Probably the best duckbill. Kimberly-Clark bleats it for breathability. I can tell you that. But this nose wire is just amazing. Yeah. That nose wire, and it is long. Look at that nose wire. It's going all the way to here. That's incredible. I like duckbills. They look ridiculous, but they're... All right, 160.8. 98.94. So I got to say that the straps, they stretch out clearly. But when you first get them on, they are like tight, and I can hear it like pulling on the mask. Yeah, I agree. So I agree. The 9105 is a lot larger mask than the Halyard. I'll get the measurements, but yes, I agree. And but the thing I like is that the 9105 also comes in a small, so you can kind of cover that. Breathability of the 9105 is still best. It's still best in the field, and still actually the most breathable mask I've tested. This Halyard's pretty good. Yeah, I've never been quacked at. You know, the good thing is I don't think anyone's ever... I was in Texas not too long ago, and I wore a mask everywhere because I'm freaking Texas. You know, I was surprised I didn't think... One person I could tell looked at me and shook their head like, ugh. Otherwise, no one cared. I don't think anyone out there cared. I think people are kind of like... I think enough people know someone that's been impacted by COVID that they're like, hey, look, if someone wants to wear a mask and protect themselves, that's fine. I don't have to wear a mask, so... Rah, rah, rah. Which, you know, whatever, but... I was surprised. So Halyard Fluidshield, that's a good mask. All right. Oh, up next, the Op Trail. This is made in Switzerland. This is made in Switzerland. Let's get some chocolates. What else do they make in Switzerland? Guns. Lots of money. The Op Trail 4190.010. So British to put the, or so European to put the dot. It's a NIOSH N95. Kind of reminds me of the Draeger in terms of its design. Very similar to the Draeger. I'll show you all on camera in just 1 second here. Now what's funny is that I will likely in my journal publication reference these videos, right, as a repository. So now someone's going to watch this video of me with a bad Swiss accent. You're going to be like, who takes this here? Okay, so this is the Op Trail. Very similar to the Draeger. It does have an internal nose clip, but the same kind of concept of like the strap is just through the ears like that. I'm seeing a lot more mask designs like this. But that's what we're looking at here. Let's see how it runs. Let's see how it performs. All right. Yeah, the strap with no adjustability, Judah, is going to be bound. I really like to see adjustable straps or something that has a ton of flexibility in it. So Judah asks, is the 3M 1804 and 1804S the same as the 9105 and 9105? I have not tested the 1804s. I haven't been able to get my hands on any. They do have the fluid barrier, the barrier resistance measurement, so they are a surgical N95, the 1804 and 1804S. People that have worn them have told me that they are very breathable, but I have no data to say if there's any impact to the addition of the fluid barrier resistance that they put in there. Oh, DroidCam says I have a low battery. That's cool. And I do. That is 100% correct. So let's plug this in. You guys are looking at the back of my bathroom now. We are back in. All right. Sorry about that. That's cool that it notified me. That is really cool. I did not want to have to buy a webcam just for this. I was going to. And the problem that I actually have is if I buy a webcam, I actually have another. What the heck did I do to make that so good before? Sorry. The reason I didn't want to buy a webcam is I don't have enough USB ports on this laptop. So I have to buy a bunch of other stuff. And I'm naturally a cheap individual. Okay, so let's rock this Optral mask. 1.194 E to the 4. 1.194 E to the 4. All right, let's rock this thing. Yeah, straps are very, very loose. Breathability, below average. All right, 295. 295. I don't feel like I got like an amazing fit on this, so the head straps are very loose. So you got 97.53. I feel like that most of that's leaking. It's just not that tight to your face. I feel like it's like ear loop tension almost. Next up's going to be the NIOSH N95 soft seal mask. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. I might have tipped over there a little bit. Sorry. Yeah, so soft seal's got this like really thing. The nose wire on it is super chunky though. Like it's got this. I don't know if you can see this really super metal nose wire. It is like crazy huge and heavy. We'll see. Breathability is poor on these. I already tried them out, but. All right, 1.119 E to the 4. 1.119 E to the 4. Coming in at 97.45. So good job, Optral. Still a legit N95. Not sure if it's my favorite, but I'm glad that there are so many options. All right, so next up we will do the soft seal. Now this comes out of our friends over at AOK Tooling, made in China, it says, but I don't have the part number because I covered it with the port. So this will be the AOK soft seal. It's a medium, it's a large size. Soft seal cup N95, large. It's a N95. You know, let's be consistent in my writing, so I'll say NIOSH N95. It is a cup style mask. It's going to be as worn as for now, unless we have an issue. It's white, it's head strap, and it's about to get connected and measured. So here's my feedback on these from trying them. So I'll test the bifold version. Judah sent both of these. Oh, actually, no, Judah sent the cup version and someone else sent me the bifold. So the soft seal, the cup one is good. And the V-fold version, I have the V-fold version here. The V-fold version, not that great. I just can't get a good seal. I don't feel like it really fits that well, and it just doesn't have the same benefits of the soft seal. Judah is in fact the largest, not the largest supplier of masks, but he sent a whole bunch that he had been collecting. So he's a He's a good guy. And he wanted to see if they, you know, he said, would I test them? I said, sure. My job is to get as many masks in this database as possible. So mostly mostly what I really care about is the pressure drop now. Yes, that is correct. Is the 8th? Yeah, 49 is the last numbers I can see on mine, so that's correct. So I'm going to copy that so that I can grab the part number there. Thanks, Judah. Yeah, so I'll just put it like that. Pressure drop is what I'm really interested in because I'm trying to find the most breathable mask. Now, I could just try it on and say, that's not that breathable, and move on. Where's my pressure? Okay. All right, we're going to finish this one up and we'll fire the generator at 9895. 9895. And then we'll fire the generator up. But, now these also have adjustable headbands, too. Okay. That seal is really nice. The cup version of this is really nice. I feel like between that nose wire and just the soft silicone, the breathability isn't amazing though. Oh, look at that seal. Look at that number. Holy smokes, this is going to be a really good mask. $54.73, bottomed out at 54.73. Holy smokes, 99.45. Wow, that is a damn good mask. Good. So I will say, the soft seal cup is pretty damn good. If you're looking for maximizing seal, that is a good mask. Breathability, it's not great. Not terrible, but not great. But boy, that seal feels really good. The cup styles, yeah. We'll try with the bifold, both large. These are both larges, so we'll see that large fit me great. We'll try with the bifold. I don't think it fits me that well. Actually, we've got to turn the generator on, then we'll move to the soft seal. And so Jackal Chung, I will answer your question on KF94s in 1 second. Let me get this data here, and then I'll turn the generator on, and then we'll talk quickly about air travel and how long you can wear a mask. Call it there 94.54. 94.54. All right, so let's kick the generator on. Disconnect the mask. Get set up for our next one. Got about 8 masks left. I'm gonna take a lunch break. We're gonna play around. I'm gonna pick some masks. I gotta go downstairs in the basement, in the storage, Aaron's mask storage facility. We're gonna pick some masks out to do some fit tests. I'm gonna grab cloth masks, and we're gonna work with the N99, N100 port account test, the N95 port account test, and then we'll correlate that to this mask. So I gotta kind of look through my list. So I'll do that over lunch, and we'll come back and finish that today. Okay, so the question, as Jackal Chung had asked, if I'm pronouncing that username wrong, I apologize, but I think that's how you sound it. How long can you wear a KF94? You can wear a KF94 for as long as you want to wear it. You can wear it for 200 hours. Let's not say 200. Let's be conservative. I'm going to be conservative. You could wear a KF94 for 40 hours straight if you wanted to. There's no issue with the duration of wear with most modern KF94s, N95s, and a properly made and vetted KN95. I don't believe KN95s are doing, they're just, the quality isn't there. But an N95 or a KF94, yeah, you wear it for 40 hours straight. What should you wear? Well, this is a topic of discussion. I traveled recently by airplane, and I chose to wear an ear loop Seibu. And you're saying, I was prepared for both options. I had with me my 9105s and that. When I got to the airport, it was very quiet. So I chose to go ear loop through the airport. There was just no one there. Our flight left at like 6:50 in the morning. It was completely dead. So very low risk in the airport, very low risk getting onto the airport because the airplane was not very busy. And I really like ear loops. And here's why I like ear loops. Because with an ear loop mask, and you could do this with some N95s, but not all. I'm just going to check that concentration. Just 1 second. I want to overshoot too much. We got a couple seconds. I'm going to hit it off right now because I think we're at 2. Yep, we're good. Okay, so one of the issues with N95s that I have, or I had any head strap mask, is I like to eat on the plane and drink on the plane. I want to drink something, eat something. And I find that with head strap masks, I have a hard time getting the mask off, taking a sip. And so what I can do with an ear loop is I can take it off, drink my, I'll take a breath with the mask on, take my ear loop off, breathe out while I drink, have a couple sips, and I can quickly put the mask back on in between drinks. So I actually never take a breath without the mask on. And so that's why I like that. I wish there was a better option. Now, with the V-Flex, I can take it and put it under my chin, but the problem is when I go like this and then take my drink of water and then try to get back on, I have to, the V-Flex is like an effort to get it to sit back to my face. And it takes too long. So the trade-off is hard to say. It's really a risk-based thing. If I was in an airport and it was super packed and we were like just nuts to butt with a bunch of people, like I would probably wear an N95 in that instance. So there's some of that is that. But I wish we had masks that you could easily don and doff quickly to take a sip of water. I actually went to a happy hour not too long ago. Most people wanted to go have a drink and they want to do it indoors. This was in Minnesota's absolute bottomed out, so it's very low risk in terms of that. But I still didn't feel comfortable not wearing a mask. I wore a mask at that happy hour, pop it off, drink, boom. I had no problem. I ate, knock on wood, have still managed to not have got COVID. So I think it's possible. So that's how that's why I think so. I think if it was me traveling, bring both. I would bring an ear loop KF94 that fits you really well, and I would bring an N95, and then you're prepped. You got whatever you can pick and choose. I mean, that's the beauty of this. There's so many masks that have different applications and different pros and cons. It's like shoes. I think the analogy to shoes is the best. It's just every shoe has a different purpose. They have different advantages and disadvantages, and so it's just about finding the one that works best for you and your application and your face, which is really the biggest issue. Face fit is the most important thing. All right, so this is the V-fold. It's large, a V-fold. Sorry, my mouse is V-fold, NIOSH, N95, large. All right, so that was my rant about how you can do it. It's just a question of risk tolerance. Everyone has different risk tolerance and things they're doing. And the impact for me to getting it, I could get long COVID, so that's something to consider, but like probability of death, sorry, stupid box elder bugs. You guys are driving me nuts. Get out of my house, please. Sorry, distracted. It's different for everyone, so it's just a risk-based thing. If you're worried, wear an N95. If you want, you can wear even a P100. They actually have better face seal characteristics than an N95. Now, the problem with P100s is that they come with a disadvantage that they're hard to breathe in. They come with a much more difficult breathability, so I do not find them very comfortable and for long wears. 2.674 E to the 4. So that's a whole nother stuff. I could spend like 10 hours talking about masks. All right, so this is the large. Did I put it on upside down? Does this not have a nose wire? I guess it does. Yeah, it does have a nose wire. Okay. So, it's too big for me. This large is too big. It's a little too big. I'm getting a leak right on the chin here, too. Yeah, I just can't get this thing to seal. I'm going to tighten the head straps up a little bit. I feel like it's leaking right here. Let me try this trick over here. No, it doesn't work with this mask. It's like the nose wire is in the wrong spot. Why is the nose wire like below my nose? Like, why is it here? The nose wire is here.
but I'm trying to get it to seal here. I'm gonna have to get up my face higher, but then it's like poking into my eyeballs. Like, look at the nose wire. It's like at the bottom of it. This makes no sense. This bifold version makes no sense. Let's test it. We'll see what happens here. All right, call there at 1002. 1002. So 96.25, I think it's really dominated by the fact that I can't get a face seal on this, so we'll test it with the Fix the Mask brace. But it doesn't, this mask doesn't make sense. The nose wire is in like the totally wrong position. It doesn't make any sense. I got a couple seconds here. So quickly, someone asked, 40-hour lifespan means 40 hours of total use. As you are aware, that N95 that I tested, and that would be the same for a KF94, the control, 8210, has been used for a year and a half, and it still works really well. So it's 40 hours total wear time. If you let it sit on the counter, it can sit on the counter. So it's total wear time. You should probably use it within, let's say, I'm going to be really conservative. Use it within 90 days. Realistically, it's probably, you could use it like within a year and it would be fine. But let's be conservative, 90 days. But 40 hours total wear time. And even that 40 hours is conservative. Everyone's always like, Aaron, why are you so conservative with that? Like, don't you think you can use it longer? And the answer is, yes, I do. But I have to make a statement that covers every and all masks and all use cases and all conditions. And I think that I'm going to play it on the safe side and say 40 hours. I think they can probably be used longer than that and be safe. I don't feel like testing that, though. I don't want to wear the same mask for 80 hours. No offense, they get kind of nasty after 40 hours. So you can wear them probably for 200 hours, but like they get nasty. So 2.221 e to the 4. 2.221 e to the 4. All right. Let's try it again here with the Fix the Mask. Just to show that the material is good, but and the breathability on this mask is not really that great as well. This AOK Tooling bifold, not great in the breathability department. Oh, what a silly, I mean, the cup mask, great choice, great. I like the cup mask. This thing is, like, why'd they even make it? Who made this and was like, oh, this mask is great. I'm going to pinch my nose closed. Like, it literally is closing my nostrils with the nose wire. I can't get it to seal this nose area here. I can feel it leaking. I just can't get it to seal. Yeah, this is I'm going to probably abandon this work. This mask. Yeah, it just doesn't seal. Okay, so we're not going to test this one with the nose. Got 97%, so no one's going to be like, oh, it's a fake. It doesn't seal very well to my face. This mask here, I don't know who it's for. That's a weird, it's just a bad design. Sorry, it's a bad design. All right, last N95. Then we're going to move on to KN95s and KF94s. The Industrious Savor Eficiente Protección, hecho en Colombia. It's a Colombian-made KN90 or Colombian-made N95. So, hey, these were for sale. Judah sent this one as well, but it's for sale. You could get these on Project N95. He sent it because they're small, and that he is correct. Life, we'll call it Industrious Savor Life N95. It's an N95. It doesn't have a sizing listed. It is bifold. It's going to be as worn. It's white. I put head. Yeah, I got a mistake there. All right, let's put head straps. Let's connect the mask up. It's kind of like it's a kind of a weird shape. So this mask is got the kind of hook and or taper and then hook shape.
thick though. It's like thick. It's stiff, with a lot of layers of material to make it stiff. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's see. Someone had some questions here. While we wait for a second. Talking about MSA. Someone had asked me if I had tested the Seibu KF94. I've tested the OG Seibu Ultra 3D mask. That's the mask I wear myself. Super breathable. Filtration efficiency is great. They're a really good mask. Probably the best KF, it's like boat style mask, because they do make a KF94 version now. They also have an FFP2 rated version. I just buy the Seibu Ultra 3D straight from Hong Kong, so it's an unrated mask. But the breathability is amazing. The comfort's good. The ear loops are what get me though. The ear loops on that mask are these wide, thick noodle style ear loops. Oh, so nice. So Seibu Ultra, it's in the database. Check it out. You can find it in there. Tested a few of them. 2.082 e to the 4. 2.082 e to the 4. All right, so this is a tiny little mask. It's much smaller than it's a much smaller mask than most. The nose wire is not very long. It's only going to about here. We'll get the data on that, but I am getting a little leakage there. Otherwise, everywhere else feels good. Oh, yeah. Let's get it over my head here, but yeah, the nose wire is weak. Not great if you have a big nose, or even a moderate-sized nose, I would argue. Call that 461. 461. We'll test it again with the nose pinch, and then we'll move on from that one. Breathability, average. It's definitely a smaller N95. Jude asks, is the KF94 the same material as an N95? In general, yes. They're all melt blown polypropylene. KF94 is actually a much harder spec to pass than the N95 spec. So the KF94 requires 95 liters per minute versus the 85 liters per minute of the NIOSH standard. So it's about 10% more flow rate, which is harder, and it uses paraffin oil. And so paraffin oil is actually a really hard test. It's a non-polar material, so typically a non-polar material does not filter very easy with electrostatic. And so what you find is the KF94 is 94% of paraffin oil, and it turns out if you use that 94 rated paraffin oil media with sodium chloride, you typically get 99% filtration efficiency. And this is why you see 3M masks, because I suspect, and I'll ask them in the call that I have with them in the interview, if the same material is used for N95s and FFP2s. FFP2s also use the paraffin 94% filtration efficiency requirement. I suspect that what happens is that 3M makes the material for what needs to pass an FFP2 test, and it does, and the breathability requirements of FFP2s are also harder than a NIOSH N95 test. So what happens is you make an FFP2 mask, and then you just drop it in as an N95, because the N95 test is easier to pass than the FFP2. So I think that's what's happening. So that's why you're seeing N95s at 99%. One, they can do it, and two, it's probably driven so that you make an FFP2 mask, and then you can also make an N95 mask too, because the material is required to be just as good. So let's see. Here we go, 1.81 e to the 4. Okay, so this time we're gonna pinch the nose. I gotta fix my, because I think that's where this one's leaking. I know sometimes people look at this data without really having the concept that the mask didn't work because I didn't pinch the nose. So
All right, say right, look, 271. 271 there. 98.5. So definitely had some leakage there. So, oh boy, lots of discussion here. Give it 10 seconds here. Let's see. So, where we left off? Okay, so Jackal Chunk said, Savvy said I got these Korean-made 3M KF94s. They fit me perfectly, but they use ear loops are all right, but definitely not for long use. Yeah, ear loops, you know, depends on the ear loop style and how tight it needs to be to your face. Yes, they can be less comfortable long term than a headband. Yeah, so those wondering, the 3M KF94, the 3M AFFM mask here, Advanced Filtering Face Mask, and the 3M 9513 Singapore made in that KN95 are all the same mask. 1.667 either for that one. So those are all the same mask. 3M KF94, 3M 9513 Singapore KN95, made Singapore and made KN95, and the US 3M AFFM mask. They're all the same. Same exact mask. At least by construction design. Whether they get made all in the same place, I don't know, but we'll find out. It's one of my questions for 3M. We'll ask him. Let's see, any other questions? Are there any dual N95 FFP2 masks, maybe like Botten? I don't normally you do not see. FFP2 requires a different certification test, and NIOSH has their own test, so no, I don't think you see too many that are cross-certified. I think 3M still makes and certifies the mask, but I mean, if you look at the 9142E, which is the V-Flex version in Europe, it's identical to the US one. So I have a question for that for 3M as well, but we'll answer that question. But that's my suspicion. Okay, we're into the KN95 space today, so we're almost done, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'll be back this evening. So this is the AccuMed KN95, correctly labeled GB26 2006 version. Maybe I'll put that in there. It's a bifold ear loop. It's going to be as worn. It's white. It's ear loop. So good job for them. They correctly labeled everything correctly. One would argue that they are actually short one piece of information on it, which is that they do not have the model, but at least they have the version that they're testing against on there. So while we wait a few seconds here, I'll answer some more questions. Another question so Judah asked, another question I've seen some KF94 saying it filters down to size 4 microns, and I've seen NISA filter down to 3 microns. It's actually, I think you mean 0.4 microns and 0.3 microns. Is there really a difference? Is that a marketing thing? It's a purely marketing thing. So Judah, there's a really nice graph of the N95 filtration. So let's just Google, let's just do MER filters, because it's a good MER filtration curve. Let's see if I can, I just know this image exists, so it's easier to show. But all filters do the same thing. Here we go. Here's a nice example. So if we plot filtration efficiency versus particle size, what happens so filtration efficiency means that for like a 1 micron particle, this filter media was filtering at like 90% And then as you get smaller, the filtration efficiency drops around 0.3 to 0.1 micron. And then it actually starts to go back up. In fact, people have tested as small as a few nanometers, and they still filter at high efficiency. So this is a really great example, because the curve for our mask just is it's 99.999, so that dip is like basically unreadable in this plot. But that's what happens. So the filtration has what we call a local minima, or oftentimes people call the most penetrating particle size. And so there's actually this little dip. So if it's smaller than 0.3, it actually filters better. And if it's bigger than 0.3, then it actually filters better. It's just this small region right here. That's why mask testing is done in this filter region, because we want to resolve the real difference in mask. If you went and tested at 1 micron, mini masks would all perform the same. But they're not actually the same. They suck in this region here. So we need to test in the region that they're the worst to get the filtration curve. So hopefully that makes sense as to that question, Judah. I'm going to get back to testing, so we'll have to hold tight for 1 second here. Okay, we're going to go off at 1.381. 1.381. E to the 4. All right, let's don the mask. Not a bad KF94. Nose wire is kind of weak. All right, 398. 398. Not a bad mask. I mean, breathability is average. It's headband, so it's not actually. I put ear loops, but it's actually headband. Not terrible. Not amazing. More neighbors walking by. Howdy. Yep, I'm in my lab testing. I know I'm a weirdo. Let's see. So hopefully that question answered about the different filtration sizes that they can do. So I see some questions like, I got this mask that says that claims it can filter 0.48 micron mark. Is that good enough? And the answer is yes. Yeah, COVID for sure. It's already filtering at a high rate. Yes, they're good. That is the most penetrating particle size. They will filter particles at high rates, bigger and smaller than that, and they are perfect for COVID. It's exactly what we should be wearing for COVID, so no worries there. I wish marketing people would stop talking about particle size as part of this, without the discussion of most penetrating particle size and blah, 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 blah. It turns out for most electrostatic face mask material, so a KF94, KN95, N95 all uses the same technology of electrostatic melt-blown material. So it doesn't matter. And it turns out that the most penetrating particle size for the face mask that we're testing today is around 70 nanometers. Interesting, huh? That's how it turns out. Because I could spend like an hour explaining that, but it just comes down to let's see, Changday, just 1 second. Changday, KN95, GB26, 2006, okay. GB 2006. Another Changday mask. Someone, Judah had sent me, I'll test it. So 70 nanometers is the most penetrating particle size for electrostatic media. That's at this high level. When it starts filtering at such a high level, it ends up being very small because it's this diffusion-based loss mechanism, or diffusion-based filtration mechanism, and so that's what we see. So yes, COVID, regardless of FFP2, KF94, KN95, KF94, N95, they all use the same melt-blown technology. They all work for COVID, and they work really well. It's what we should all be wearing. Bye, Donna. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Hope you have a good one. 1.194 e to the 4. All right, let's try out the Changday. Now, this is an ear loopy one. Oh, I said it's head strap, but it's ear loopy. All right, let's try it out. Oh, poor breathability. And the ear loops are too long, probably, for me. Oh, they're at 175. So 175. So good filter media. 175. Good filter media. Poor breathability, though. All right. Someone had said, so let's see, Jackal Chunk said, I can't believe Aaron wears a Seibu KF94. I'm proud to be from Hong Kong. You should be proud to be from Hong Kong. If you watch any of my live streams, I always say that Hong Kong is the, sorry, I see my neighbor walking with bicycle wheels. What is she doing? Does that go to a trailer? Are you getting rid of a trailer? I'd like that trailer. Okay, all right, sorry. I think they have like a little tow behind trailer that they might be giving away for free, which I'd like to have, if that's the case. Let's see, where was I at? I don't know what I was talking. Oh yeah, Hong Kong. Hong Kong makes the best masks in the world. They are the leader of the mask manufacturing world. Mask Lab is based out of there. There's a ton of good masks that have come out of there that I need to follow up with my Hong Kong contact, who I bug all the time to say, hey, what's new in Hong Kong in terms of mask stuff? Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Hong Kong. I wish I was really bummed to see what happened with the with Omicron in Hong Kong and the lack of vaccination of the elderly population. So I'm super bummed by that, but you know, whatever. Sorry to hear that, but yeah, no, I love Hong Kong masks. They're great. Okay, we're gonna test a kid's mask since we're on the KN95 side. So this is the Green Supply brand. Now the Green Supply is just a supplier. The actual mask is from, didn't I told you I was gonna hit all the ones that people have been asking me for? Who is making this mask? I thought there was a manufacturer name on here somewhere. Oh, here we are. No. Okay, so they don't actually have a manufacturer name on here. That's super shady. Shady, not shitty, but Green Supply KN95 children. So this is the KN95 bifold. It's gonna be as worn. It's ear loop. Oh, but it's not white. Color is not. Oh, what's going on with me today? It's white. The last one was white. This is pink. Oops. Pink. Ear loop. And here we go. Where are we at concentration wise? 1.082 e to the 4. 1.082 e to the 4. All right, we'll don the little kid mask. Again, no labeling on it, so it does not conform to the KN95. Ear loops are super weak. We're gonna have to hold this to my face because it's too small. So I'm gonna pull up the concentration here. $298. Legit, kids. You know, not amazing performance, but legit. All right, so let's see. Okay, so there's a question about what happens when masks get wet, and then I'll finish up the rest of the discussion. I think some other discussion. 1.047 e to the 4. 1.047 e to the 4. Okay, so there was a question that someone had. What happens when masks get wet? So there's actually a great study out there. If you Google N95 filtration efficiency, artificial sweat. So a person, and I've inadvertently tested this myself. A person out there had tested taking N95s, soaking them in an artificial perspiration. Slow down when you're driving through the alley, dude. Dude, this is like ripping through the alley. There's kids in there, man. N95 filtration efficiency, artificial sweat. Here we are. Yeah, right. Collection efficiency comparison of N95 respirators after soaking in artificial perspiration. So here's the key thing here. They went and tested them pre and post. What they found is that after both pre and post soaking them, that was how much material they absorbed. That was the pressure drop. And here is the penetration. So penetration is 1 minus filtration efficiency. So the 3M8210, before they soaked it, 1.7% of particles made through. After it was soaked in artificial perspiration, 1.6. It actually got better. Not statistically significant. The p-value is quite large. But what it highlights is that, no, there's really no issue in getting them wet as long as you let them dry. And they can only be wet by water or sodium chloride in water. Nothing with a surfactant. Nothing that has a solvent. So sweat and spit are fine.
I mean, I guess if you get a mask soaked by spit, that's kind of gross for a different reason, but there's the answer to that question. Okay. Are we below 10,000? We are below 10,000. Generator's going to come back on one more time. We'll move on to the KF94s, and then I'm going to take a lunch break. Oh, I'm sorry, camera 2. Forgot about you over there. I'm going to take a break and get some lunch, and then we'll do the port account stuff after my late lunch and into the evening, and then this will probably be my last video for a long time. I don't imagine I'll be doing much after this. Okay, so we covered the what happens when they get wet. Safi said something about I thought it was South Korea, but I'm not sure what that was. Thanks, Aaron. Jack was saying, are you planning to visit Hong Kong in the future? You're kind of famous in Hong Kong. I didn't know I was famous in Hong Kong. I would love to visit Hong Kong. I love traveling, but I'm going to wait a little bit until the COVID's done. But yeah, I would love to go to Hong Kong. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with them. Their orders are taking forever. Oh, if you're having orders from Seibu being slow or Mask Lab, I think the Hong pandemic is really slowing them down. Safi, yeah. Aaron first got popular from Mask Lab, then second Seibu. Well, I think they make good masks, so I'm glad that people in Hong Kong are listening to me. Let's see. Bill Tobner. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Bill's a mask guy. Let's see. Thank you as always. Judah must be on his way out, so thanks, Judah. No problem. Glad. Yeah. So those who know, Bill Tabner is the owner of Bonafide Masks. Bill, I got a bone to pick with you, though. I talked about it earlier on the live stream. I hope Judah will be back to watch this evening. So Bill, my bone to pick with you is the chaos. I mean, part of it I understand from a business perspective that it was a crazy time to sell with masks, but yeah, things got crazy. Things got kind of crazy with Omicron, and I had a lot of reports of people, including people that I sent to your site that had that bought masks and then didn't get them for a few months. I gotta say, I know that it was hard that you were planning on probably getting imports and they probably got held up, but I gotta say that I was a little bummed by that, Bill. I know that you kind of were trying to tackle that, but I hope that doesn't happen again. But probably we'll never have that craziness of masks ever again in our life. Personally, I think the Palcoms are a better mask than the Chengdays, though. It seems like the Palcoms breathe better than the Chengdays. So that was my bone to pick with Bill. So next, just don't sell masks you don't have next time, please. Because then when I say go buy masks from you and everyone goes buys masks from you and then they don't show up, I get yelled at too. And then I feel bad. So, anyways. I'm very transparent and if I recommend a mask, I have no financial obligation to those companies. I just test masks for fun. They don't pay me. So it goes both ways. I can say a mask is great and I can yell about their business practices. So still like Bill, I'm glad that I think the Palcom is a great price point mask. And that cost for that mask, like value statement for that mask is probably one of the best is the Palcoms. All right, we got 4 masks here today to test for the KF94 space. Judah says Safeway sells a 3-pack of the Chengdays. That's why he sent them. So Judah sent those to me as well. All right. Let's wait for that concentration to stabilize. And then I'm going to be done. I'm so hungry. My brain is just thinking about food. That's all I can think about. I've been sitting here for 3.5 hours already. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. All right, first up, we're going to do the Skywater. Oh, Skycare. Skywater is a small semiconductor fab based out of Minneapolis. Whole different organization. Let's not lump them together. The Skycare KF94. Now, they actually sell in the U.S. They had sent this to me for free to review because Skycare had asked me to review it. I haven't translated it all to Korean. It is black and it is a large. So it's a KF94. It's a boat style. It's going to be as worn. It's black. And it's ear loop. And it has a really weak nose wire. It was actually the first thing that I told them
because they had inquired about it. The first thing I had to tell them was like, the nose wire is really bad. You gotta have a better nose wire than that. So let that concentration stabilize. Bill said it was a crazy time, and I apologize. We have tens of millions stacked. And I know Bill didn't do it intentionally, so I think that's a key thing. It was intentional versus when shit happens. Omicron was a unique thing. I think a lot of mass manufacturers, and I don't know if this was Bill's case. He can say if he is or not. And a lot of mass manufacturers had plans of getting inventory and stock coming in, so they're selling stuff that they have an anticipation that's going to show up in 2 or 3 days. Right? I saw this happen. This happened with Be Healthy. This happened with Collect. They were selling stock that they had been shipped. Omicron hits, it shuts the supply chain down. So what you thought was going to come in 3 days is now not coming for a week. And that next supply that you thought was going to ship in 2 weeks now is a month out. And everyone wants masks at the same time. This is why we can't rely on just like free market to manage masks during a period of time. I'm glad the government released N95s from the stockpile, because you just can't expect suppliers of masks to be able to swing that wild. Oh, okay, these ear loops are way too big, right? You can't go from 0 or 10%, triple your sales in 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks after that you have 0 sales. You can't expect suppliers to do that. So that's why the federal government really has to be involved at the mass distribution for pandemics that go like this. Why it took them until January to do it, I still have no idea. Why did we not do that? With the second we heard about Omicron and we knew better masks were needed, why did we not open up the stockpile at Thanksgiving? Oh, drive me nuts. Drive me nuts. Yeah, this nose wire is just weaky sauce. It is weak sauce, super weak sauce. So we'll do it as is, and then we'll redo it with me pinching it. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I putting it on? I gotta get the concentration. Sorry. 20 seconds. Now I gotta wait 20 seconds. My bad. Frekios, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Be Healthy's problem is USPS, the local USPS hub or whatever their part of New Jersey sucks. It does. That is also a problem. But the problem is that USPS got bogged down too. So you have this simultaneous event happening. Everyone wants masks. Suppliers are trying to ship out. People are getting sick from COVID because there's a massive pandemic happening at the same time. And so everything just locked up tight, and it sucked. I mean, it was crazy to see, like, you went from like, I could buy anything I wanted to I could buy nothing in a matter of like 3 weeks. I mean, that was crazy. 2.138 e to the 4. It was totally bonkers. I never have experienced that. I mean, and it's funny is I kept telling people, because people come to me like, oh, should I buy 100 of these masks? I'm like, no, buy what you need for a 3-month supply, because there keeps being better masks that I find and better masks being made. So don't commit to a huge supply of masks because you keep getting better masks. Yeah, I got a leak right at the nose wire. Yeah, freaking. Yeah, really weak nose wire, so you're not going to get recommended for that reason alone. I call it 851. Jumping around a little bit because we got a leaky nose wire. 96%, still pretty good. But had you looked at the filtration of the actual fit, it's pretty nuts. All right, so we'll let that one stabilize. We'll get the concentration. We'll redo it. I'll pinch the nose wire. We'll see how it goes in terms of media. We got 3 other ones. We got the completely in Korean one that I will need to translate. It's cotton lining. Interesting. Don't use cellulose in a mask. We got the Plan Zero. I like that, and the M Plus Positive Lifestyle mask. So we'll be testing those nests. .292 e to the 4. 2.292 e to the 4. I'm going to move this guy over a little bit. Sorry, secondary camera. I'm just going to adjust you a little bit because I was just noticing that it's not really. I don't know if it's really that useful. We'll need it for the next segment when I do later this evening. We're going to need that to see the port account, but I just feel like it's... Oh, because it's frozen. That makes sense. I'm like, that's weird that I can't see anything. Did my phone die? No. Phone's active. Droid cam has an advertisement up. I don't really... Okay, we're back on the secondary cam. Sorry, I noticed that. I was like, wow, that's weird that the image looks weird relative to what I'm seeing. All right, I need to buy an iPhone or one of those little tripod things. Okay. Sorry. We're back. We got the concentration. We're ready to read on it. Concentration is 2.106 e to the 4, 2.106 e to the 4. Is that looking right too? Yep, that's looking good. All right, we're going to go ahead and don the mask again and pinch the nose wire. $63.15. Wow. So it highlights really, really good filter media in there. But the face fit killed it. 99.7. So good media, but bad nose wire leads to a bad mask. So we're going to say this pinch. Oops. Pinch nose wire close. Nose wire closed. Oops, I put as worn, but it's pinch. Nose wire closed. And I'm just more upset that SkyCare made me do that because I'm so hungry. I just want to get this done. So they made me have to do effectively another test. 1.950 e to the 4. 1.950 e to the 4. All right. 99.69. Awesome. Great job. SkyCare, again, the highlights KF94 is just awesome. Every time, just, you know, in terms of filter media, whether the design is good or the nose wire is good is a whole other ball game, or another question always with them. But let's do the Plan Zero next. Now, Plan Zero is nice because they got the nice noodly, big, thick ear loops. That is the future of masking. If you ask me if I could make the dream mask, you take the Seibu ear loops and the pressure drop. You combine that with the printing of the mask lab. And you kind of figure out a little bit better fit stuff, put some foam or something in there. I think that would be the coolest option. All right, this is the Plan Zero KF94. Now that seems like a dicey choice of a name. You can never get zero. Plan Zero. I guess it's better than Plan B. It's white ear loop, but they got good ear loops on. All right, here we go. 1.640 e to the 4. 1.640 e to the 4. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and don this one. The ear loops are really nice, and I love the noodle ear loops. The thick, wide ear loops. Oh, this one fits me like a dream. Good nose wire. Really good nose wire on this one. Breathability is average. as Lloyd Armbrust would say, smell is... Smells like a KF94 to me. They all have that kind of very similar smell. Bill apologized and said it wouldn't happen again. That's all that matters for me. Everyone makes mistakes. I don't think we'll ever have to do that ever again. I think the Omicron spike will... I hope it never happens again. Let's just say that. Oh, there. 487. Stabilizer around 487. About 97% there, as worn, which is pretty good. I don't feel like I had any leaks on it, so maybe the filter media on that one, not as good as others. But it's still pretty good. Maybe we'll do fix the mask. Fine, we'll do fix the mask. I don't want to. I want to go eat lunch, but I can't. I gotta not be lazy. You spend all this time collecting data, you don't want to give up at almost at the end. So we'll do fix the mask, see if that was a leak, or if it's just the filter media. All right, 1.542 e to the 4. 1.542 e to the 4. All right, so let's pop that off quickly. Go ahead and redon the mask. .779 e to the 4, 1.779 e to the 4. Go ahead and reinstall the port. All right, 261. So, yeah, didn't have as good as a seal as I normally get on that mask. It felt good, but maybe it's right here that it's getting a little leak. I mean, it's that would be still, I would still be happy with that mask either way. Getting 97% versus 98. I mean, sure. I don't know. Okay. That's 1.693. 1.693 e to the 4. All right, 98.50. Okay, let's try up the M Plus KF94. Then I got to figure out what the last one is. M Plus KF94. It's a KF94, size large. You know, maybe I should put the sizing in through. I know how to read the Korean symbols for large now, so I know that's a large, and I know this is a large as well. I'm really happy to see so many size offerings in the KF94 space. It's great. I'm hungry, and then I'm going to go ride my bike, and then I'm going to come back, and... Oh! What was I doing? That's the wrong one. Let's copy this. Oh, not there. Put this here. I'm going to copy this. Put it here. Plus fix the mask. There we go. So no adjustable ear loops. I do like to see that. This mask looks pretty good.
It's 3 layers, so it's gonna. I have a feeling it's gonna be a little breathable. I haven't tried this one yet. All right. Oh, he says the N Plus he thinks is made in China, not in Korea. Possible. Possible. It's all in Korean on the back, so no chance of me without Google Translate catching that one. But I'll get it later. I think it says in the packaging. It's all in Korean. So it might on the packaging, but it doesn't. M Plus Medi is the mask. Yeah, it doesn't say. Ah, there is one that's made in China. Very, very interesting. You are correct, Judah, but it's not this mask. It's this mask that's made in China. Very, very, very tiny lettering. Made in China. Looks like a legit one, though. Does look legit. And then does look legit. We'll have to check it out. Good catch on that, though, Judah. There is a 1.412 e to the 4. I know there's been a lot of argument whether a KF94 can be made outside of South Korea. I am 95%, 99% confident. The answer is yes. Your KF94 does not need to be made in South Korea, but it must be imported via controlled method to get into South Korea. Whew. Ear loops are, I do not like these ear loops. They're way too tiny. Like they're like spaghetti thin. Like, and I mean, good tension on the ear loops, so I got to give them credit for that, but go to the noodle ear loops. I don't want spaghetti. I want, if you're going to make a noodle, don't make spaghetti, make a wide fettuccine, or what's the Chinese? Oh, shoot. I broke the ear loop off. Damn it. I wanted to test this mask. Well, I can tell you I'm not going to say that the ear loop quality is great, because it just came off right away. How can I fix this? Shoot. I'll staple it. I'll be right back. Let me get my stapler. I'll staple it on. It's super breathable, but the ear loops are not very strong. Oh, I've been sitting too long. I'll be right back. Oh, and I'm connected to a microphone that is about to rip off my computer. Be right back. Okay. For those wondering, you can repair with staples. I made sure not to staple through the breathing area, but otherwise the ear loop should be pretty secured now, but not perfect. So we'll have to be a little careful here. So sorry about that. I just wanted lunch, man. All right, 1.118 e to the 4. Oops. All right, let's don the mask gently, so not break the ear loops again. Good breathability. Kind of smells like a candy store inside. It smells good. So Lloyd style. Good mask if it wasn't for that stupid ear loop. It's only one though, so it's hard to say. Oh, they're at 61.93. 61.93. That is really good. So 99.45. Wow. So the M-Care is actually quite breathable. It's a good mask. I don't, ear loops happen, so I don't judge them too much for that. It shouldn't have happened like that. I didn't feel like I pulled on it too hard, but, it can happen. So M Plus actually is pretty good. If other people try them out and see if the ear loops are any good. I think Judah sent this. He got this mask available at H Mart, which is the Korean supermarkets here in the U.S. Or I guess market, maybe not supermarket is the correct term. Sorry, I was gone. Let's see. .072 e to the 4. 1.072 e to the 4. All right, one more to go. 99.43 as worn. I bet you I'd pass a fit test on that one. We'll find out, because we'll actually do fit tests this evening with a real port account with an N95 companion. So we are going to answer the question that everyone asked. Oh, Aaron's data is fake. Now this is the Hab mask. It's Hab, made in China, but it's a KF94. I'd have to check on the back. So this is the Hab. Really tiny lettering too. Hab KF94, which is made by Suzhou Li Tian Protective Products Limited. Now, for those that don't know, let me jump over that. For those that don't know, on the Korean labeling, they have to put the manufacturer, this vendor, or the people that are advertising and selling it. So well, I don't know what you call it, the company that's selling it, and they have to list the manufacturer. So this one, the listed name is all in Korean. I'll have to translate it when I get a chance. But the manufacturer is Suzhou Li Tian Protective Products out of China. KF94, made in China. This will be a good one to search on for that Reddit thread. I'm going to add it to the list of KF94. We'll see if someone's a legitimate KF94 registered with the MFDS or not. If it is registered with the MFDS, it clearly says made in China in English, and it's a Chinese company that's running it, so I would guess that that is the case. All right, this will be my last mask. Oh my goodness, what a long run today. So one question for you as you all wait. Look through that list of masks. Tell me who I should blast out on Twitter for making a bad mask. Should I criticize the Shima97 for the Shima don't 97 or shouldn't 97? Oh, I think that's better. Not the Shima97, the shouldn't 97. Or should I blast out Honeywell for making a mask with no nose wire that does not fit very well? Or should I give some props to our friends at Milwaukee for making a really good mask? You guys can pick what I do. It's like a choose your own adventure story. All right, 1.032 e to the 4.
Okay, ear loops are a little long here. Again, tiny, skinny ear loops, so I don't know what's going on in the world over in South Korea with this choice of ear loop material. I don't like where they're going. I mean, they're fine. They're as good as the old ones, but like if you're gonna like make ear loops, make them wide noodles. I couldn't remember what the type of Chinese noodle that they make. They're like hand-pulled noodles. Maybe that might be Hong Kong, or maybe mainland China. I don't know where that's from, but man, they're good. But they're wide noodles and they're super tasty and gummy. They should make ear loops like those kind of noodles. All right, call 237. 237. 97.7. That's pretty dang good. I think we could have been better with to fix the mask brace on there. So you know what I have to do. I'm not getting lunch yet, but we're almost done. I'm so hungry. All right, 9546. We're getting below my number, but I don't want to turn the generator on, so we will break protocol and test it with fixed mask. We already have the data, so it's not really like it's just extra data. I'm curious of what the actual filtration efficiency on this mask, which claims to be KF94 but made in China. It is a KF94. But that's right here. I was like, where's my fix the mask brace? Not an amazing mask by anything. It's not super breathable. It's not anything. It's just another KF94. I, in many ways, have become a mask snob. 9843. Which is like, oh, this mask isn't the most amazing anymore. Oh, this isn't the most breathable. But I guess it's kind of my job is to be the mask snob. All right, I call it 147. 147. So, there you are. All right, we are going to be done for the night. Someone had asked, are any of these masks that I tested today going to change my opinion about what masks I like? And before I say that, I want to make sure I got all the masks tested. Who's this mask that was talking about cotton? Cellulose cotton. Oh. That mask we tested has a cotton liner. I don't know if I want that. So let's just quickly give a recap. What are the top masks that I felt like were some ones that came out of the top of today's? There is a few that I think come out of today. So here's my top picks for this session. And we'll go from there. Number one mask to not buy. Shima97. Doesn't do shit. Most breathable update. This Champak. Let me grab that concentration quickly before I forget. 9022. 9022. Okay. Okay. The Champak, super breathable. This mask, probably the most breathable bifold. So top bifold, N95, Champak. The Honeywell with valve, just fit construction and availability at Home Depot, another great option. Moldex, if it fits your face, pretty comfortable. I liked it. I like the stiffness. You don't get mask claps. Good choice. I like it. But it's going to be very face specific. So those are my top picks that came out of here. And then the last one is the AOK Tooling silicone face seal cup style. Bifold, garbage. But this one, really nice. Breathability is not the best, but if you're after really good face seal, and that's a really good design of a mask. So I'm impressed with that. So so that's where we're gonna go. Now someone's gonna ask the very logical question, Aaron, when are you gonna do another review video? Ha! B Ruse just asked it. I just saw there. Did I say the wrong word? I meant Milwaukee. If I said the wrong thing, the Champak bifold is definitely the most breathable bifold that I've tested. But B Ruse asked, when will you be doing a mask video overall soon? I will be doing an overall mask review video. I've been waiting for stock to return. I feel like it's kind of a mean thing to do, is to say these are all the best masks and you can't get any of them. So think of things about like I love the V-Flex. Can't get the V-Flex anywhere still. It's still hard to get. And I haven't tested all of the masks, so I kind of felt like I couldn't say that was the best N95 until I've gone through and tested like a good smattering of all the N95s. Now I think I've covered almost all of the N95s. So I think I can make a pretty definitive answer about what the good ones are. So yes, I will be doing a review video. I don't know exactly when. It's going to take me some time. But I always say, if you want to know what I'm wearing, I wear the V-Flex and I wear a Seibu. I might consider that Champak now, because that's really breathable and it's kind of convenient to put in the pocket. I sometimes like the bifolds because they're just so easy to get in your pocket. I might consider that adding it to the mix. I like it. And I think the other thing, I guess while we're here, we'll try it. Let's try it. We're here. And we're set up. I was just putting them all back in the box here. Where's the Champak? Where's that Champak? There it is. I think you can easily convert this to an ear loop. So this is the Champak mask. Let me shoot over to my OBS here so I can see. All right, so here's the Champak mask. It's got these little headbands, right, with a little thing. I think I can go like this. Oh yeah, Champak, you might have just sold me for the sheer fact that I can do this. Oh, Champak, you just let me convert you to an ear loop. That's a pretty sweet gig. So I'm just converting this to an ear loop because they have the little adjuster. Is like you just like click it in like that. Oh yeah. Okay, but I gotta make one long and one short. Okay. So now I can just convert this to an ear loop mask. That is kind of a cool. I didn't really take advantage of the adjuster. So one of the things, just like KF94s, one of the things I like about in KF94s that I expect to see nowadays is I want to see in a KF94. I want to see. Oops, I put that on the wrong side. Oh, okay. I don't like that part of it, but let me fix that. So I think my favorite this might be my favorite bifold. Oh, just because you can convert it to headbands or ear loops and the breathability is off the charts.
Or it's at least similar to... Oh, damn. It's even more breathable than the Seibu. Or on the same... It's probably more breathable. Huh. I just converted it to an ear loop. I like that. It's kind of a goofy looking mask though. But the breathability is... It's a little itchy too. All right, well, I'm going to call it there. Wow. We're going to have to get this tested. I'm just thinking to myself there. I'll convert it back to headbands after lunch. We'll test the pressure drop all these masks next. So you'll see that coming up on the data sheet. And then I'm going to eat lunch, basically dinner at this point, and I'll be working in through the night to do the port account stuff, and then we'll be done. So thanks everyone for hanging around. You'll see me again later. Camera 1, bye. Camera 2, bye. Thanks everyone for hanging around. YouTube Punk, thanks for moderating as always. And I won't be able to answer all the questions. I'm super hungry. I got to go. Tofu Guy 88, Seibu Ultra is the best. Just tell them that. Say, Mass Nerd says it's good. Buy it. Stop using crappy random K95s. So we'll all catch everybody in the next video. You'll see it later. I don't know when exactly. I may not give notice. You might just see me pop up live because I'm going to go eat and then more work ahead. But hey, it's all my own doing. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.